Right, howdy, your considerable bulk here, doing something very unusual, but it's the sort of thing that we like to do anyway. It's Considerable Conversation 7. Wait, is it that way? Is it that way? No, it's that way. 7. Yes, 7. I can't believe we've done so many of these things now. It's our cerebral combat for the ages. Joining me today, we're going to be having one of Team Considerable's absolute very, very finest and most hirsute hipster that we know. It's going to be TC Harpalarp, the knowledgeable beard himself. Now, as you know, we like to go deep into the background and lore of our plucky protagonists, and I know it's not a considerable combat, but let's face it, we all want to know about our man Harps. Big screen bulk, my retinas. I know, right, Whitney, I know. Welcome home in the chat, by the way, Whitney, and Kefirsko is in there. Harps is in the background, but he's promised me that he's not going to say anything until this is over. Now we're gonna. This is a recycle of some old lore material from the deep vaults of McHarpalarpson, or as we know him, Harpalarp. Age. It's still rude to ask or stare. Stop staring. He's part of Team Considerable. Real name, as we know, Richard Bury Ponselton Ford III. Most known for being the hipster's hipster, his blood type by now is entirely New World Merlot. Well, almost exclusively, I should say. True facts, his exploits and successes as the trailblazer for all hipsters to follow are legendary and well documented. However, his time spent in a maximum security prison after being wrongfully convicted of armed robbery at a charity shop has been kept secret up till now. Whilst incarcerated, RP3 spent much of his time evading the more vicious individuals and gangs through his hipster ability to blend in with his surroundings, as long as those surroundings were an independent coffee shop or organic health food store. This strategy rarely worked, and he was constantly getting into a spot of bother with all who liked his beard. Thankfully, he met his guardian angel in a former pro wrestler whose real name was Barbara Mickelson. The two found love in those tormented walls, and for the briefest of moments, they were fully in love. RP3's release ended their relationship, but he still, to this day, keeps a scale model of the man who saved his soul on his gaming chair. That being Babs Mickelson. I feel like Babs is going to be making an appearance very shortly. But yes, Richard Bury Ponselton Ford III, as we know him, Harpalarp. Right, now let's cross over to the man, the myth, and the legend himself. Oh, hang on, I've got to stop screen share. I've got to stop that screen share. Or, there you go, stop that screen share. There we go, Alright, does that fix things? Here he is, above me, on top. Harpalarp, would you like to say hello?
Oh, how goes it? Absolutely no technical issues today whatsoever.
Literally zero technical issues 30 seconds before hitting the start stream button. Literally zero.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I want to wave to Babs right there. Hi, Babs. Still spending time at Her Majesty's pleasure. Right, it's properly cold here, says Whitney. I'm currently enjoying some hot chocolate. There we go. Harps, how am I supposed to not stare when your mug is taking up a gigantic chunk of the screen?
I mean, no one said you shouldn't stare.
Don't stare too long into those eyes. Your soul will be lost.
I didn't even put Babs Mickelson up on the chair until I heard you mention Babs Mickelson. I was like, oh, I better do something about that. And guess what? When you said that I met Barbara Mickelson, it didn't even occur to me where you were going with that. It's the wrong spelling for Mickelson, though.
Okay, was it two L's?
I love it.
Or is it UN?
I think it's MIKKELSEN. I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness! Like properly Scandinavian.
Yeah, because it's after the name. It's named after the guy Mads Mikkelsen. sort of Scandinavian. Who coincidentally was in the Dumbledore film I saw today.
Oh, there we go.
I saw him and I went, it's Babs' dad. Oh wait, I'm Babs' dad according to the law. Who knows? It's all canon.
Well, no, according to the law, you're Babs' former lover. There we go.
Don't say that, it's a baby.
I did say it was a scale model.
an accurate one as well.
Scaled the age right down.
Okay. Slightly incriminating, so let's move on.
Right, so format of what we're going to be doing today, Mr. Oh my goodness, it's only petulant flipping Panda. What an actual legend right there. 23 months. Let's go. Another one of Team Considerable's absolute very, very finest as we know him. Thank you so much for the continued subbery, sir.
I need to share mine as well. There we go. That GIF that we just saw for the alert.
Yes. Vigit.
That footage of you punching someone in the face.
Yes, it is. That's me going from top 16 to top. That was the winning punch. Top 32 to top 16. The 2009 All Japan Championships. That was. What an actual legend. Harpalarp above me, right there. Harpalarp on top with 20 months. He's catching up. Let's go. Let's go. I did a spelling mistake. Vigit. I mean, you can see it there, ladies and gentlemen. It's whatever that was. Oh, wit. It's meant to be wit. Okay. There's our Panda.
Yeah, I was like, what?
There's our
Tell
Panda.
us a spelling mistake. I can't tell what he got wrong though.
While you're there, Panda, Whitney, Kef, let us know about the audio balance. Is the background music okay? Is Harpalarp okay? I got the whole thing wrong. Okay. Yeah, so how's our audio balance? How are we sounding? Do we sound big in this vest? That's what we want to know. I think it's great.
Big?
Kef, you legend. And shout outs to Kef, who is in Poland right now. Yes, thoughts and so on going with you. Now, Harpalarp, would you like to explain to our lovely viewers what is going to be going down? Wait a second, is that Gay McKay?
Apart from Jack.
That's Gay McKay.
I don't have your... I've got your stream on, but it's muted, so I can hear bits of those shout-outs being picked up by your mic.
So, yeah, Gay McKay, Team Considerable's Gay McKay 81. Yes, he is still in prison. Yeah. It's not...
Team Considerable's very absolute criminal.
TC, totally criminal. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Right, so yes, sorry. Let's now, and thank you for the 100 bits there, Panda. He's getting closer to that hype train. Whatever one of those is, let's all get on board one of those. I feel my inner Boris coming out. I've no idea what that sort of thing is, but it sounds like the sort of thing we should all get on board. Yes, let's get on board this hype train. And there's the gifted sub for Panda.
And there's the sub.
There we go. All right, thank you so much, Panda.
Claus is back.
He is. He's a legend. Right. Sorry, Harps. Please explain in between notifications what the heck is going on tonight.
Yes, thank you, Bok. I will. So, tier lists, the internet's favourite thing. Everyone knows what tier lists are. I'm just now realising I was supposed to ask Bulk before we went live. Did you the actual categories for the tier lists, like S, A, B, C, and stuff? Did you change those? Did you put some custom ones? He did. It looks like he's nodding, but it's on a delay, so I'll assume it's.
You can. Well, I'm going to ask you about those so we can put them together. You can edit them on the fly.
That is true. So yes, tier lists. We're going to be doing tier lists, because who doesn't love a tier list? We're going to start off with the Mortal Kombat games tier list, because what else would we start with? We're at some point, we haven't decided yet, but at some point, we're going to be opening the floor up to you guys. So you guys can suggest tier lists for us to, remark over. And they can be anything. It doesn't have to be fighting games or anything in general. It could just be any tier list you want.
We've got a great suggestion for one after this one. we talked about it just before stream.
Yes. So Mortal Kombat first. We know what we're doing second, and then after that, we're gonna be opening the floor to you folks to select tier lists. So I don't know. You might want to
get your thinking caps on. Yes.
Get your thinking caps on.
Thinking
about going.
Obviously, Panda being a fellow Kotal enthusiast, you can get your pull your thinking feathers out.
Yes, exactly. Obviously, I don't know if they allow tier lists with nudity, but obviously, we're not going to be doing those. They want Bulk to get banned.
Tier list on boob shape. They're all S tier. End of story.
Yeah, see, Panda says, spoiler, all boobs are god tier.
Yeah, there you go, Panda. Panda's on point with the knowledge right there. Alright, so should we get our first one on the way, shall we? Let's go. Let's change the bed. Boop, boop, as I head across to our tier list page. Look at that. All ready to go. And now, I'm going to hide myself from the chat. Are you happy with S to E, or would you prefer to change the labels, Mr. Larp?
I mean, S to E is good, I guess. I mean, otherwise we would just change them to something that means the same thing, essentially. Like S would be god tier, and well, usually when I do a tier list, I make the top tier just GOAT in all caps, and usually only one thing from the selection will make it into the GOAT list.
Okay.
That's usually what I do.
Okay.
It is the greatest of all time. Like in the when I did the Mortal Kombat 2021 film characters tier list, which I think I had to make that one myself because no one had made one. Kano was just the GOAT because, I speak facts.
Mm-hmm.
GOAT, godlike, decent. I can just about make him out underneath the chat.
Below par.
Below par. Suboptimal.
Crap. Because it's... and and let's just say...
I usually make the bottom one never played or never seen, because there's always something in the tier lists that I've never experienced. Yeah, like there's MK versus DC. I've never played that. Unknown.
Okay. There we go. Oh, hang on. How about unknown? There we go. Bulk's legendary typing skills coming to the fore once more. Okay, would you like to kick us off with a suggestion? And I've tried to order them chronologically, but as you could probably tell, I went at the bottom there. Mortal Kombat 2, 3, 3, 4, and then all of time, and then what I think is 9, 10, and 11.
Yeah, for some reason Mortal Kombat Trilogy is about 4 games ahead of where it should be.
Right, so did that come out after 3? Or did it come...
It came out right after Ultimate 3.
Okay, so what about Gold?
Gold was the Dreamcast version of 4. I don't know when it came out, because 4 came out in 97. The Dreamcast didn't come out till 99.
Right.
Let's just put it after 4. That makes sense.
All right. And I've got Sub-Zero, and I've got Deadly Alliance. I've got... Is that Deception? That's Armageddon.
Yeah.
What's this one?
Is that one next to it?
I think it's got to be Deception, because I can't see Deception anywhere else.
No, Deception is the one 2 to the left of that. No, that's Deadly Alliance, isn't it?
That's
Deadly
MK versus DC. I've got Armageddon. Oh no, Deception is this one. Deception is this one that I'm hovering right now. There we go.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah. Of course, the problem is I'm watching your stream, so there's a delay.
Gold is
no, you're looking at the wrong one.
Shaolin monks. Got it. Okay.
So I can't look at your.
Okay.
I can't share your screen.
Because it's worse than crap.
I was planning on looking at the shared screen, because then there wouldn't be a delay. Must be a way to do it with just one camera.
Right, I've got to. I am going to act upon. There we go. All right, done. Right, so I am going to act upon Panda's suggestion there. I was thinking about that myself.
MK versus DC. You say that, but Mythology Sub-Zero. Hang on. This is an incomplete list, man. Why is Sub-Zero Mythologies there? Special Force. Where's Special Forces?
Where's Special Forces? Where's Shaolin Monks?
Yeah, they've got one spin-off here, but forgotten the rest. Says a lot.
Okay.
I don't see how MKDC is any worse than Mythology Sub-Zero.
All right. Well,
I haven't played either, so it doesn't matter.
Should we try and go in a in mock chronological order, or should we just pick them? All right. MK1. What do you reckon?
MK1. I mean, the game that started it all. Game that made me go, oh my god, fighting games. This is what I want to do. The game that introduced me to Sub-Zero and other characters, I guess. It's not really that good a game, is it? It was at the time.
Yeah.
Like, have you gone back and played it now? It is like one of the worst. You know, outside of the weird ports like Mortal Kombat Advance and stuff. I mean, below par seems a bit unfair. I'd say decent then. Yeah, decent.
Yeah. So
I think there's too much of a gap between decent and godlike. I feel like there should be something between decent and godlike. Maybe there should be something between decent and godlike, but you know what? I think that just purely on its legacy will raise it, as you say, to decent, because as a game, it's ruddy awful. It's essentially got... I've played it recently, and
yeah, it's essentially a 2-button game where if you figure out a special move, that's Unite, and otherwise it's just jab them in the head and then figure out how to sweep and how to uppercut. So yeah, as games go, what it was Panda saying, I played it on the Mega Drive recently. Yeah, it's not great. It isn't great. It's not. It wasn't brilliant. And don't forget, at the same time, it came out at the same time as Street Fighter 2. So Street Fighter 2 came out, and then this was the competition. And some people just loved the different graphics. I think Panda's one of those people.
I didn't have £50 to spend on a Mega Drive game, so I didn't get Street Fighter 2. I've got Mortal Kombat though, and I was plenty happy with it. I don't even remember where I first saw it. But yeah, Panda says it might even be below par. Maybe, but yeah, I think, as Bog says, because of the legacy, and like it basically set the standard. Wait a minute, wait. That image for Mortal Kombat.
Yes. It says Super Nintendo.
I was put it down 2 spots to crap then.
Oh, because it hasn't got the blood code. It need the blood code and.
It's the super. I think game on the whole should be decent. That is specifically the SNES version, so.
It is the SNES version. Yes, this is true. This is true. I think I'd like to just move it up because of its legacy, because of what it started. Right, yeah. It didn't just start Mortal Kombat the franchise, but you've got, if you remember games like Pit Fighter and others, all these copycat games where they tried to use the same graphical style, where it was shooting videos of people and having them go about, and it was like a battle in the arcades at the time of those two styles of games, because it was only fighting games back then anyway. Pit Fighter. I had Pit Fighter on the Game Boy. Oh my god, that must have been awful.
I've seen people like the Angry Video Game Nerd and stuff play games like that, and I'm like, oh yeah. So maybe the original Mortal Kombat wasn't quite so ass, because there are many copycats that are really bad.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, let's swiftly move on.
I was right, below par.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. Oh, Archie Baxter is hitting us with the raid right there. Let's go. Praise the sun tan that boy Archie. I know he doesn't get out of his attic very often. He's too busy playing Smash in his tiny room. But yeah, shout outs to Archie Baxter. Thank you so much for the raid. Let's go, Ball Barch Face. Indeed.
And what were you saying earlier about? You said that you don't have a raid notification set up?
I don't have a raid notification set up, which is why I'm making such a notification of it verbally with my face right now. Words are spilling out of my face, eulogizing over my appreciation of Archie Baxter, the best Mario in Milton Keynes. Right, anyway, Mortal Kombat 2. I'm going to start off with it. I'm going to start it off there and let you take it away.
Alright, well, I didn't play it much. I I didn't have it on the Mega Drive. I actually had it on the Game Gear. I played it a lot on the Game Gear. So we're not here to talk about that one. I know a lot of people consider it to be one of the best classic Mortal Kombat games. Like I say, I didn't play it too much. I played it enough to be like, okay, this is a huge improvement over the original. You know, Sub-Zero could shoot ice at the floor now instead of his opponent. That was cool. Baraka was the thing, and Melina and Katana and Jax and all these characters. I think maybe we might have to leave it in godlike, because a lot of people to this day still consider it one of their favorite 2D Mortal Kombat games, and it did, you know, it introduced babalities and friendships and Shao Kahn, and I guess it had Kintaro, so maybe it can't be godlike. I don't know. I'm torn. Okay, here's the problem. I'm thinking about what other people think about the game. That's the problem, because I know other people love Mortal Kombat 2. Me personally, decent. I kind of wanted to say below par, but decent, because like I don't know. It was good at the time. Just
this is also the Super Nintendo version, as it says.
Yes, but they fixed their mistakes by then.
Okay, well, I you know, this is a democracy of two people, and
where would you like it to be?
I'd like it to be godlike. I'll tell you why. MK2 was, yes, okay, Mortal Kombat. Back in the day, my friends and I were very much more into Street Fighter, Tekken, those Virtua Fighter. But I'll tell you what, we had so much ridiculous fun on Mortal Kombat 2 because we could also do combos in it. Way more than you could in MK1. And there was a huge graphical jump between 1 and 2. Music was there. Music was all moody and it was there. And it was all unknown. It was all unknown, and the unknown quantity of no one knew what the combos were meant to be. You'd have like video game magazines where you would they would post suggested combos, things that people had found, but there was not like you know, people grinding this game out and posting their combos on Twitter, because all of that stuff just didn't exist. It was another game where we all came together and you would just see what people could do. And there weren't massive combos either. You talk about 4 or 5 hit combos max in MK2. Yeah, but it was really cool to do because everything looked like it shouldn't have worked, yet it did. Like Kitana's Opti would have been jump over kick into air fan into immediate lift when you're on the ground, which animated in animation terms just didn't work. It just didn't work. She'd plop to the floor and then immediately just going with her fans there, and then you would do square wave from there, because she had a square wave move that it wasn't bottom back then. She punched them. I'm pretty sure she punched them. Yeah.
Did Sonya have that?
Sonya also had a square wave. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This is the difference.
She did what with her? She did Archie. What did she? She did. Yeah, literally spin her fans, and then purple. I think it was purple waves would come out of it, and it would lift the character. When I say lift, it would be like 5-year-old birthday party worst puppet show ever, where they're just showing flight or hovering by just jiggling the puppet upwards.
It was basically
one more time, Bulk. I missed what you said when she did with her. She went. That's what she did. Yeah.
When you made that noise, I was going to say, sorry, she did what? But then I thought, no, I'm not going to derail him. And then Archie and Panda both did it. Yeah. With animation, I remember it being very similar to how in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, when Rain would hit him with the Rain Ball, and then they could Rain player could move the opponent, and they would just sort of raise into the air without actually much in the way of animation, and that's what it was with. Yeah, and
we're forgetting one of the most important things. We're forgetting that Sub-Zero had the ground freeze, and it gave us the best animation in Mortal Kombat history of all time. It gave us that.
It also gave us Noob Saibot and Smoke.
Yes, exactly.
It did give us Jade though.
Secret characters. I mean, yes, okay. In MK1, there was a lot of unlockable content. Was Bolt just singing the Game of Thrones theme?
Yeah, it did sound like that.
Yeah. Joe Thibodeau, good to see you again.
A lot of unlockable content.
Yeah, so
you could unlock the blood code, and you could unlock. You could fight Reptile.
Yeah, but there'd be like secret bosses, secrets. That's what because we were going through a phase of arcade games were all one-player affairs, and then Street Fighter 2, I think, was one of the first ones where it pitted you against each other regularly, like with sticks and stuff. But that legacy of having to try and have that one-player content hook of you go through arcade mode and you have a secret boss. You unlock a condition. You don't know what that condition is, but and then you'll read in a magazine again what that condition was. You'll be playing it at home on your Super Nintendo. Yeah, you'll be playing at home on your Super Nintendo. All of a sudden, you get, murked by Jade. How did I do that? What did I do to do that? I have no idea. You can't repeat it. Then next week, you pick up a copy of Computer and Video Games or Mean Machine or whatever, and it would tell you, oh yeah, but here's how you unlock these things. That's what it was like back. It was super exciting to live in that time as a teenage person. Murked by tanned katana in green with gold tinted fans. Yes. Yeah.
I remember playing Mortal Kombat, and every now and then you'd see Reptile drop down and he'd give one of his cryptic clues and then disappear. And I heard, I'd go to school and people were like, oh, that green ninja, you can fight him if you do this, and it's like, if you get a double flawless, do a fatality on them on the pit when something's flying across the moon. That does not sound real. And then you would do it and go, oh my god, because of course you couldn't just hear your friend tell you that and then go, let me fact check this and check it. You would just go home thinking, nah, he's just lying to me, and he's lying.
And
lies, that kid.
MK2 was the first one with Toasty, wasn't it?
Yes.
Toasty wasn't in MK1.
Toasty.
Yeah, Toasty. Nope. Just random Toasty. Imagine the hype of a bunch of teenage guys and gals in a school common room, because this is legit facts, is what happened, in a school common room on my Super Nintendo that just happened to be there. No, not my Super. No, there happened to be a Super Nintendo there. I brought in Mortal Kombat 2, and then all of a sudden, someone does an uppercut, and we hear Toasty. We just lose. Yeah. We lost our stuff. We lost it.
Okay, I'm starting to see why you want the game put in godlike.
Nostalgia reasons, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, it's the fact that not only did I not play it much, had I played it a lot, as I mentioned before, I didn't have any other friends that were really into fighting games, so it wouldn't have been a case of me finding combos. I would have been like, okay, high punch does the punches to the face. That's cool. I could sweep, uppercut, roundhouse, and do my special moves. That's it.
Yeah. There was 4 moves.
Combos didn't exist. Yeah, to me, combos didn't exist until Mortal Kombat 3.
Well,
I was like,
okay.
You press buttons and do a combo.
I'll tell you what. We'll leave it indecent.
Based on how you've been talking about it and how much fun you had with it, I'm perfectly fine with you putting it in godlike.
Okay,
it seems like
I would really appreciate to put it up here, but I'm happy for it to be nudged down by anything else that so we could order our tiers. Okay, let's quickly move on.
Change it on the fly.
Yeah, let's quickly move on before we get lost in nostalgia. Right, MK3, and this version looks like Super Nintendo to me. I'm going to start it here.
That's a good place to put it. I think it's probably going to have to end up as decent, because there are 2 better versions of Mortal Kombat 3 to go.
Ooh, I never played them.
To me, Mortal Kombat 3 was the game I got for my birthday when I asked for Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Oh.
So there was that. I was like, oh, Mortal Kombat 3, it's not really what I asked for, but it's good, I guess. And I played the crap out of it. On my own, of course, like a billion other mates. But I played the crap out of it. Learned all the fatalities. I had the magazine, which told you all the special moves. In fact, the magazine I had was weirdly a Sega Saturn magazine. Don't know why I had that, because I didn't have a Sega Saturn, but I had a Sega Saturn magazine. and in it they had all the moves and fatalities for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So from that list, I was able to get them all for Mortal Kombat 3.
So where do you want to stick 3? Super Nintendo 3.
I think we should put it in below par.
Yeah, okay.
Just because Ultimate
But it's better than
3
MK1, isn't it? Let's face it. Yeah.
It is, but there's also 2 better versions of 3 on the list.
I can see one for the Genesis, and I'm not sure if that's a better version, is it?
Well, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 was also on the. It wasn't on PlayStation, but it was on the Sega Saturn.
I thought you were going to say it was on the Game Boy.
No, it might be. Well, I mean, a lot of people regard Ultimate 3 as the best of the classic ones. I always saw it as an inferior version of Trilogy, because Trilogy had more characters, but I've since watched videos from Ketchup explaining the gameplay reasons why Ultimate 3 is the go-to game for tournaments rather than Trilogy. But the bottom line is I never played Ultimate 3.
Okay. My recollection is Super Nintendo MK3. I can't see UMK3 on here. Is that MK Gold?
You just put it in the crap list.
Oh, I thought that was for the Genesis. I thought that was just the... Oh, that's Ultimate. No, it just says the Ultimate Fighting Game. Is that UMK3?
It's UMK3.
That's UMK3? Okay, well, that's up here then, isn't
I
it?
recognise the box art.
Alright, fine. There we go.
Yeah,
Lovely.
But, I know earlier we put the other Mortal Kombat down because it was a Super Nintendo version, but I don't think we're going to really take the versions into account from here on in.
Okay.
It says Genesis, but I'm not thinking of the Genesis version. I'm just thinking of...
Okay,
I
cool.
guess the Saturn version of the arcade. But, like I say, I never played Ultimate 3, so what do you think about it?
3, for me, was better than MK2, and MK2 is already probably my favourite Mortal Kombat game.
Wait, why are you putting Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the list?
Because it's part of the 3 series, isn't it?
Are we not doing these as 3 different things?
Well, I figure, because they're all Mortal Kombat 3, we could sort of try to get them all done in one go. I should have led with that, shouldn't I? I should have led with that. It's like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You should have led with Turtles, because that's the shocking part. Knowing a group of weaponed teenagers is not really shocking. Knowing that they're mutants is not a shock either. The fact that they're ninjas, it's okay, they could be trained, but they're turtles. We should have led with the fact that they are antagonistic amphibians. Reptiles. They're reptiles. They are repugnant reptiles. Raging reptiles.
Then it would have had some dumb name like Turtles of Ninja Persuasion or some dumb thing like that. So, and plus, if I'm looking at something and the first word is turtles, I'm probably out. I'm like, nah.
You could have led with turtles and then put everything else in brackets, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
So he dropping Ultimate 3 and then moving over to Trilogy, and I was like, he hasn't even told me where he wants Ultimate 3 yet.
I would I would like MK3 at some point in its iteration to be godlike, because it is godlike, in my opinion. Ultimate is the best version of that. So
I think
there we go.
For me, I would rate Trilogy as godlike, personally, because that's the more that.
Okay. All right, let's do that.
Before Mortal Kombat X and 11, Trilogy was my most played Mortal Kombat by far. I loved it so much. I played it all the time, and it's basically Ultimate 3 with a few bells and whistles and stuff. So yeah, I think it's good to have them both on the same level. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yes, MK2 is getting pushed down, but we'll see how that goes. Doing good so far. It's not necessarily getting pushed down because it's still now we've placed them. What I really loved about MK3 was how it was so vastly different to other fighting games. You had a run button as well as the block button. You had a stamina bar. You had strings. It had combos, like canned combos. And some of them looked, and the animation on the combos was just super sick. It made the game, it gave the game more. Even though ultimately probably it had a little bit less, because it was still down to normal, special sort of thing for your combos. But what you ended up with is these really well animated, and I have to doff my cap, doff my cap. The canned combos in there, the animation has been probably rarely beaten in
fighting game history. So
it is some good animation.
Yeah, there's some great animations, and they were so fast. Like pam, 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 pam. You'd have Cabal doing crazy stuff. Shiva's was even pretty good looking. Shiva's was probably the worst looking in my opinion, of all of the string combos in MK3, but even Shiva's was cool because she picked them up and splattered them as far as I can remember, and she had kicks in there for reasons. Even though she's got 4 arms, she kicks a lot.
Yeah, she got some long ass legs, man.
She did.
Some long legs.
Thick thighs save lives. Yeah.
I remember Sub-Zero he did like 2 elbows in one of his combos. I thought that was a bit weird.
Kung Lao's was
boom, 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 and then a couple of kicks.
Kung Lao's was cool. So I played MK3, Cabal, and Kung Lao because those combos were so cool looking.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I played Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 3. I guess I played all of them, but Sub-Zero was my main. And in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, I played as like so many characters because I used to mess around with the cheats a lot, with like 1-button fatalities and stuff. And I actually learned how to do Sub-Zero's brutality and Noob Saibot's brutality. I think I think Mortal Kombat Trilogy was my introduction to Noob Saibot because I didn't play 2 very much, so I didn't really know. I think I knew about the secret characters, but I didn't know Noob Saibot was the original Sub-Zero until I played MK9. Mm-hmm. But playing him in Trilogy, I was like, I like this guy. He can teleport. He can do that move that stops him from doing anything. That's pretty cool.
And don't forget, for all this time, we still had one of the most important parts of Mortal Kombat history, which has only just been dropped in MK11, which is we still had Raiden doing his thing. We still had Raiden telling everybody that he thinks he's left the oven on. Yeah, he knows. It's legacy. Why did they get rid of that?
Yeah, and it says in MK3, Noob Saibot was blacked out Kano sprites. Yeah, I never knew there was a Noob Saibot in Mortal Kombat 3. Never, until like 2 or 3 years ago. I just simply didn't know. And I'm glad I didn't know, because it was just Kano. It's not Noob Saibot. It's Kano. What are they doing?
Who else is really cool? Now, am I mixing up? No, I'm not. I don't think I am. Where Sector and Cyrax. Which game had Robot, Sector, and Cyrax? 3, yeah. Okay, because you had the ridiculous fatality where he drops bombs on the ground, blows up the planet Earth.
Kind of. That was Cyber Smoke's fatality. He was a secret character I knew about in Mortal Kombat 3. Now I remember when Mortal Kombat 3 came out, I did have a couple of friends that like knew about Mortal Kombat, but we didn't really play much. And when Mortal Kombat 3 came out, we didn't know much about the story or the lore. We didn't look at all the backstories and everything. So we just saw this guy wearing yellow. What's happening? Oh, I thought the stream stopped. We just saw this guy wearing yellow that fired out this thing that would grab the enemy and pull them towards him. So we assumed that Cyrax was Scorpion in a robot form because the net is functionally the same as the spear. And then of course we eventually found out, oh no, he's not Scorpion. Scorpion just isn't in the game, which was a big shock to us. He's like, oh, this. I mean, but Scorpion though, he's like one of the main characters. He's in Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, and he's not in 3. Johnny Cage isn't in 3. How bizarre! And then of course that was the only time they left Scorpion out of a main entry Mortal Kombat game.
It's only Sub-Zero that's been in every game, isn't it? It's only Sub-Zero.
Every main entry Mortal Kombat game, Sub is the only one that's been in all of them because he's the best.
You had bare-headed Sub-Zero as well, if I remember correctly. So he didn't have a hood. You had his bare head.
Oh, I thought you meant like
not like a bare head, not like an animality.
I thought you meant he was shaved, like shaved head. I was like, wait.
Unhooded, uncowled.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to call him unmasked Sub-Zero.
Unmasked. Okay, we'll go with mask. Sure.
Yeah, and he was. I didn't like that design change because I was like, you've made him look not cool. Fair enough. But he did have some pretty awesome fatalities. He would.
Do you remember the? Yeah, the Ninja Capture guy advertised for another fighting game, so he didn't play the ninjas. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. You learn something every day. Do you remember the games? I know you watched Games Master back in the day. Do you remember the Games Master where they did an audience challenge, and the person playing said, "I will beat anyone at this Mortal Kombat game blindfolded," and they did.
No.
Okay,
I remember one thing ever from Games Master.
Okay,
it's been so long.
so it's Games Master, which is, I think, I hear Games Master might be coming back, but
It's come back.
Oh, it has come back. Oh, okay.
On it.
Well,
Or was it just catch up?
I don't watch TV. There you go.
Neither do I.
So this guy literally sat down in front of a Super Nintendo with the control in his hand and had a blindfold. They blindfolded him. Took a member of the audience. We all thought, and it wasn't like some numpty either. It was the person who came up from the audience looked like they knew what they were doing.
Why am I hearing the word numpty so often lately?
They looked like they played Street Fighter or something like that. They looked like they knew how to block, except probably no one told them there was a block button, and they didn't. They didn't tell them there was a block button, and the protagonist in this one, the bad guy, I will beat you blindfolded, picked Sector. And all they did was teleport punch and guided missile. That's all they did.
That's all you need.
And it was so hilarious watching the destruction of this other player's soul on TV. This was one of the most watched programs, prime time. It's Blitz! Oh my god, Blitz, good to see you again. How you doing, girl? How you doing? Good to see you again. All the way from her Canadian bakery. Yes. In fact, glorious is a glorious adjective.
How are you doing, Blitz?
Yes. Blitzy!
I don't remember. I just remember just a couple of things about a couple of specific moments of Games Master. I remember them doing a review for Final Fantasy VII, and the guy was like, "Finally, the UK version of Final Fantasy VII is graced our shores," and I was like, "Is this a game series I should be aware of?" Because I'd never heard of Final Fantasy before then, because I didn't have a SNES. I was like, Final Fantasy VII, what is this? And they were making such a big deal about it. I was like, maybe I should keep an eye on this. And I also remember seeing Gran Turismo 1 for the first time on Games Master, and I saw a clip of it, and before they mentioned it was a PS1 game, I was like, oh, that's a PC game, I don't care, because it looks so good. And then they went, it's on PlayStation, and I was like, say what now? And there was this, they did a review of some Lamborghini game on the N64, and I'll never forget that the last words of the review were, ultimately, every car in this game feels like driving a milk float through a cloud. And I was like, that's a weird way to describe it, but I understand what he's on about. And of course, Patrick Stewart, rest in peace, unking on kids who couldn't. He's like, I need help getting through the water temple. He's like, you scrub, you can't do the water temple, you're not worth my time, and just banishes them. It's brilliant.
True facts. He was with stars, the Sky at Night guy. Not Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Moore.
Patrick Moore, yeah, Patrick Moore, not Patrick Stewart.
No, not Patrick Stewart. It's like
Patrick Moore.
You come to me with this question for Zelda. Engage and so on.
We thought, yeah, Picard has copped it. Right. Okay, let's try and bash through. Right, now I'm gonna have to
hang on. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The Panda's saying, wait, Patrick Stewart died? And I'm like, no. If I said Patrick Stewart, then that was a mistake. I meant Patrick Moore.
You definitely said Patrick Stewart.
I meant Patrick Moore. But just before we move on to the next one, do you know who is the current Games Master now that they've brought it back?
If it isn't Craig Charles, like 60-year-old Craig Charles, I'll be disappointed.
You're going to be disappointed then.
Who is it?
I thought it would have been cool if Dominic Diamond was the Games Master.
What, came back? He came back as Games Master. Okay, cool.
But I'm very surprised with the pick, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I dig it, that makes sense.
Wait, hold on, Harps. I've just seen some incredible news in the chat. Congratulations, Blitz, on your child. Let's go. I hope you called him Bulk.
Congratulations, Blitz.
Congratulations. Oh my goodness.
You had a crotch goblin.
We need pictures. We definitely need pictures, and I'm going to fly across to your Canadian bakery and get cuddles. For sure. It's a girl. I'll still cuddle girls. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Every time you say Canadian bakery, I think you're going to say Canadian bacon. I could give us some bacon right now.
That's such amazing news, Blitz. I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. Awesome. Took your time.
Nice.
It's not mine, is it? No, wait.
Wait, does my wife watch these? All right.
Where was I about a year ago? Wait. Anyway.
So did you hear me when I said the name of the person who's...
No, I didn't. Who is it? Who's Games
Sir
Master?
Trevor McDonald.
Are you kidding me?
Sir Trevor McDonald. He is the new Games Master.
That's ridiculous.
I know. I need to watch it, man. I saw a trailer because I think Ketchup and Mustard are on one of the episodes, and they were like, "Yo, Games Master's coming back, and we're on it." And I was like, "Amazing!" And then never watched it. So I really should get around to watching it.
Okay, so Trevor McDonald, aka Posh Desmond Tutu, is Games Master. That's crazy.
And they made him look like he looks like Trevor McDonald, but they gave him the same sort of visual effects.
Well, they gave him a cyber eye, and they gave him the diagonal upward head. Okay, all right.
Basically.
I'm sure it's more convincingly done nowadays. Trevor McDonald. Oh, mate.
Yeah,
It's a good shout. It's a good shout. Maybe they should have gone with the maybe they should have just stuck with the Sky at Night theme and got the guy or the girl who presents Sky at Night, because it's Maggie Aderin Pocock, I think, is the coloured lady who does the Sky at Night, and there's some white guy who does the who's the dude.
I've never seen the Sky at
But
Night.
Maggie Pocock, is such a bubbly, effervescent, enthusiastic about looking through a telescope kind of person. She's perfect for Sky at Night. Perfect. She hooks you in. She hooks you in more into science, beamed through your TV, than the great what's his name from Manchester? Love Science. What's his name? Brian Cox. Yes, she's better than Professor Brian Cox.
I've never seen the Sky at Night.
What?
I did. Well, I mean, why would I? I'm like, it's just, I could watch that, or I could play Grand Theft Auto. So like, but I did see the very final episode of Games Master, and the very final thing we see was so good because in the last scene, it was Dominic Diamond in the production studio, where the director is, and he's like, switch to this camera and that camera. And he was sat there, and they were like slowly turning all the monitors off, and it was all like somber. And he was like, "With this being the final scene of the final episode of the final series of Games Master, I feel like I should come up with the greatest joke in the history of the show, but I can't." And then it just fades to black and starts showing credits, and I was like, "That's a really somber."
It was. Yes, it was.
But there was a post-credit scene. Did you see the post-credit scene?
I don't remember it, but I mean, if you describe it, I probably will remember it.
Yeah, it was Patrick Moore leaving the building. Now, as he was just about to get into his taxi, he turned around, looked at the building, and just went like, ugh, as if to say, like, I'm done with that. And then just got in the taxi, and that was the last thing. And I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Right, so yes, I've changed the bed track for the third time. We've done, as Panda has pointed out, we've basically done 3 games.
Right.
But thankfully,
let's do a lightning round.
Because I'll tell you why. With Mortal Kombat, in my opinion, you have the beginning, and you have the end, and you have the filler. So this bit should be a little bit faster. What do we think about?
Because you didn't play any of them.
I didn't play many of them. I may have played 4, just didn't like it, just didn't get on with it. I played Deadly Alliance, and then X and 11, and everyone's got an opinion about 9. So, okay, what do we think about 4?
4 is crap. Full stop. End of story.
Done.
No discussion.
Gold.
Gold. No, sorry. I need to. After I said no discussion, I've got it the wrong way around. 4 needs to be MK versus DC.
Okay.
And then Gold is crap.
Okay.
Gold is a slightly better version.
Oh, okay. So this is like a remix of 4. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, this is what happened when you had games didn't get patched. You had to just buy a new cartridge.
Gold had a bunch of new characters. They added Melina and Baraka and. Maybe
Oh my
Cyrax.
god!
I don't think
I forgot Games Master when MK3 came out. They did a promo and they got a player in a Baraka suit to play against people, and the guy in the Baraka suit picked Baraka and killed everyone. It was clearly like a games tester or a developer or something.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, because it was a really convincing Baraka suit, like with the blades and all of that, and the full teeth. And I thought, okay, well, this guy's like a paid actor. There's no way they're going to beat these up and coming pros. And they put them up against like competitive players. They put the Baraka guy up against like top players from all these different other fighting games, and he murked them all. Murked them with Baraka. Yeah.
I remember seeing something kind of similar with Games Master. It was the first time I saw Tekken 3. They had Tekken 3 arcade machine because it was brand new, fresh. Because this was This was the tail end of '97, I believe. That was the last season of Games Master, and they had Tekken 3, and I was like, "Oh, mate, I love Tekken 2. Let's go!" And I watched it, and I don't remember any of the other players, but Ryan Hart was there, and it's so weird because I remember seeing Ryan Hart because he was, I think, the only British person, and they had a bunch of these people playing Tekken 3, fighting to see who was the best, and I don't know if he won or not. But many years later, like 3 years ago, his name popped up on my timeline, and I was like, he's that guy I saw on Games Master 20 years ago. Follow?
Okay.
Which was totally weird. Right, okay, so, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. I mean, it's got to be MK versus DC, isn't it? Because it's that's not the worst Mortal Kombat game Special Forces is.
Right, where are we putting Deadly Alliance?
Deadly Alliance. Yeah, this was the game that made me think, oh, Mortal Kombat isn't keeping up with these other things like Tekken and Soul Calibur. I think I would say below par.
Below? Do you want to go decent? Okay, all right, fine.
No.
You see, chat, we didn't need to have anything between godlike and decent. Right, this one. What is this one? This has got to be Deception.
What's the other one that looks just like it?
Is Deception.
The one you've got now looks like a zoomed-in picture of the other one in the list. You see?
Chat, help us out. What's the one I've just placed in decent?
I think it's is it PSP version? Mortal Kombat. I wish these images had like names so you could see exactly what they were if you were confused. Yeah, we need
a tier list on tier makers.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So I'm just looking at these.
I feel I need Panda's input, so I'm going to put Deadly Alliance up here before he busts out and plays Tekken. Panda, what's this game right here that I'm waving around suggestively?
Right. Yeah, because the bigger version of that image is Deception. But what's the smaller version?
Yeah, but sure Deception only came out on the PlayStation, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's Deception. I don't know why there's two images. Okay, well maybe they used it for a different game that isn't on here. Because I can't see Armageddon.
I could have. Armageddon's.
Oh no, Armageddon's there.
Right there.
So, all right, well, let's leave this one over here for now, and let's put.
I'm sure it's the
Deception where it.
Game.
There we go. I'm going to start with Deception here. Deception is rubbish, but it's really fun.
Is it Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition? No.
Let me just check my facts are right. Yes, Mortal Kombat Deception on the PlayStation 2 is...
Yes, Deception. I mean, it's basically the same game as Deadly Alliance. I would put it on the same level.
Okay. Oh, is Deadly Alliance also 3D with the weapons and the stance changes?
Yeah, they're basically the same thing.
Oh, okay. Then I would definitely put it up there. I never played Deadly Alliance, but I've got Deception sitting over there right now.
Deception is the Mortal Kombat game that made me stop playing Mortal Kombat. so putting it at decent is a bit of a mixed feeling.
It is. But as we said, if I said it's really rubbish, but it's a lot of fun when you do play it, as long as you don't take it too seriously, would you agree with that statement?
No, because I don't think it's really rubbish. That's the thing.
I stopped after Deadly Alliance, but I still loved it. Had a good vibe. It had combat chess, which I never played.
Chess was pretty good.
I never played it.
Pretty good. I did.
Okay.
It also introduced the crypt. Deadly Alliance introduced the crypt.
Yes, that's right. It had the crypt. Yeah.
And then the crypt.
Well, the crypt is in Deception as well. It is in there. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's in there.
In Deadly Alliance, it was just like a graveyard with, like, on a grid.
I don't want to.
And then I think-
Because you know what happens when I inadvertently lock my cable. But let me just. Never mind. Here we go. Here we go. So
I've just thought of something that means that those two games do need to be in decent, especially Deception. Deception definitely belongs in decent. And do you know
Deception.
why that
Yes. Go on.
is? It's because Conquest mode. in
Yes,
Deception.
exactly. Right. So
Pretty
look,
good.
look how many times this game has been resold. So I bought this. I bought in at the low price of £9.99 when it was sold for 2 for 20. And before, and then it was sold for $12.99. And when it got traded back again for the 4th time, I picked it up. So this is the 4th time it left the store, the same store, and inside is my copy of Tekken. Tekken what? Tekken 3.
Why?
'Cause-
Why is Tekken 3 in there?
Because MK Deception is in the PlayStation 2 right now.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So yes, Deception.
So yeah,
It had
Deception, I
combat, chess combat, puzzle combat, conquest, crypt. It had so much stuff in it.
I thought chess combat was in Deadly Alliance.
No, it's in
might be
Deception as well.
wrong.
It's just one of those parts of the game that I never got around to because I was also at the same time playing other games. Hang on, there we go.
It's true.
There we go. Yeah. So I was at the same time playing other stuff, but it's like hot garbage. It can be absolute hot garbage when you're playing it, but it's a lot of fun as well. The mini games with Deception. Okay, cool. All right. I didn't realise it's got
too
with
bad.
NetPlay. It says with NetPlay right there.
Yeah, some PS2 games did have that.
No idea what that was. What is it?
NetPlay?
23rd of the 9th. 9. When did I pick this up then? I didn't pick it up
No.
in 2009. 99. Oh dear God. It couldn't have been 99. Was it 99?
No, it couldn't have been. Couldn't have been because the
2004.
PS2 didn't come out till 2000.
So maybe I bought this in 2009. It's possible.
Sounds about, yeah. If it's discounted that much, it would have been a couple of years after.
It's been
Right, anyway, I
resold
think we're
so
dwelling
many
too much
times.
on your pre-owned copy of Deception. We've got more games in tier lists.
Alright, so what we got? Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Where is
I haven't
Armageddon?
played it.
You not played it?
Nope,
Chat,
it's
give us a suggestion on Armageddon because I've not played Armageddon. Below par, perfectly placed.
Yeah,
right.
Deception was what made me stop playing.
What's
Mortal
this
Kombat,
one?
So I didn't play Armageddon. That's Mortal Kombat versus DC.
Okay, all right, good. And this one, you have something to say about MK versus DC.
Me?
You were saying earlier that we have MK versus DC the tier, but a lot of people like it. I mean, it's
No,
a broken
I said-
bag, isn't it?
I said we've got MK versus DC as a tier, but it's not the worst MK game
Ah.
because Sub-Zero exists.
Okay. So
Right, Mortal Kombat 9. Crap? No. That was the game that got me back into Mortal Kombat. I think.
Well, it's got to be
Mortal
up
Kombat
here
9,
at least then, if it got you back into Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
It's godlike. I was going to say godlike minimum, but it's actually godlike maximum because only one game can be the GOAT.
MK vs DC was actually kind of good. Stav is here. Well, there we go. There we go.
Wait,
Welcome
it's
home.
Stav.
Wait, it's Stav. It's a Stav. Hey.
And it says MK vs DC was actually kind of good. Yeah, but he also says that Zelda, Mario, and Doom are bad. So, actually,
Okay, now we've got 2 games left because we don't know what this third one is, and not all of the games are on here. And I think they probably just used this picture to represent another game that isn't on here. One like maybe Shaolin Monks or something like that.
then you think why they didn't use the picture for it?
Yeah, exactly. So that is strange. But anyway, we've got 2 left: MKX and MK11. We so far don't have anything in the S tier category, and we've got 2 games. I'm going to obviously we're chronologically going. I'm going to start this one off up here, knowing
I know what
I should put
know
it
what the other
down.
game is.
What is the other
I don't
game?
know what that other game is now.
What is it?
It is what I thought it was. It's a PSP game. It's called Mortal Kombat Unchained, but it uses the same box art as Deception. It just has Unchained instead of the word Deception.
Okay.
So I never played that.
Alright, well, we want to put it there because it's on a PSP. It probably isn't that good.
Yeah. I like the way you put MKX, while I was away doing that, you put MKX where it should be. I like that.
And I'm going to break with convention and do that. Do I agree with that? Yes, I agree with that. What do you think about that?
Personally, I think MK11's godlike. Personally, because I love it. I know you don't love it. I mean, you stopped playing it 2 years before it came out. I mean, I can compromise and say decent because it's. I mean,
I can yield as well. I can put it in godlike. I think as a game, the graphics are there. It has the problem that Mortal Kombat always has in the fatality syndrome. What I mean by that is some things in Mortal Kombat are incredible the first time you see them, or the first 5 times you see them, like a fatality for the first time. After that, it gets a little bit samey, and then after that, you just wish there was an option to skip it.
I don't. I love the fatalities in Mortal Kombat. I'm not going to say that.
Oh, but it's not the fatalities I'm talking about, because fatalities are intrinsic within the franchise. It's what started the franchise, and kept it going.
What are you saying is samey?
What I'm saying is what I really like in a fighting game is the impactfulness of what you do, and feel-good moments for the player, like a Tekken slow down and zoom in, or a crushing blow.
Every time you crumple someone in Tekken.
Yeah, a crumple stun in Tekken has existed since the early 90s. A crumple stun in Virtua Fighter. Those sorts of things. Crushing blows for me, the first few months of watching my character or watching other players I was playing getting crushing blowed was hype. And situationally it is as well. Like you read a high and do a down 2, or you bait someone into doing something super unsafe and you do a crushing blow punish deliberately, not accidentally, but you just deliberately go out to do one. And that it has a feel-good factor to it. But what detracts from it is in MK11, a lot of the crushing blows that I experienced or have even done to people may or may not have been on purpose, and also the combo you get from it is not particularly rewarding. It's always the same combo, and I don't need to keep seeing this all the time. For me, at this point in the game's life, if it's Geras versus Liu Kang, I don't need to keep seeing all these animations. And for a lot of characters, the crushing blow is the damage. They don't get a combo from it. It is the damage. So you have to go through all these animations, and you just know if it's like Geras versus Kang or something like that you're gonna see 5 or 6 or 7 of these things, and for me it slows the pace of the game down a little bit too much. I would prefer the game to perhaps be more combo heavy and focus more on and have crushing blows, because they've got the technology to do the zoom ins and the breaking of the bones and things like that, and it's definitely within in the spirit of the franchise. But some way of either making the crushing blow the reward, or making the combo just a bit more exciting to do, or difficult to do, or more rewarding to do. Because most of the time it's like 1-2 special, 1-2 finish, or something like that. It's not very difficult. The combos in MK11 are not MKX combos, and being a combo kind of guy, I remember Iraklis said one time to me. She said, "Yeah, Bulk, you're always you've always been kind of that Half-Life combo kind of guy." And yeah, it's.
And yet you don't play Baraka.
True. Yeah, because he's quite simple. I don't play Baraka because he's kind of quite simple. Because it is like 2-1 or 2-1-2-1. That's it. Or jab, jab, jab.
Like 1-1-2 and then gutted and then launch. MKX did have some like swaggier combos, but it did have the same issue of like, okay, this person's hit me. Now I'm watching the same animation this character always does when they hit me because it's the optimal combo. And it's like, I didn't feel MK11 increased that any. The combos were less flashy, but seeing the same animation over and over again is not exactly something that's new to Mortal Kombat 11. Like with Mortal Kombat X, you know, if Katana or Cyrax touched you in the early days, you're like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
but then by the end of the game, as soon as Cyrax touches you, you just go make a cup of tea. It's like, okay, I'll come back in half an hour when he's done this combo I've seen 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, there's more combo variation in MKX, but I almost never saw it because people would just do the one that does the most damage. And I was like, so seeing that in MK11 didn't really play into me.
Yeah, and you don't play into. But in MK11, you also don't get those random pickups. When I'm watching someone stream MK11, one thing that I really enjoy seeing, because I do like watching some decent MK11 gameplay, but it has to be an errant pickup, a down 1 anti-air, and then they get the combo, or a down 3 catching. Like Panda does this so well. He does a down 3 on Oki, catches the jump out, and then converts to a combo. I like that. I like watching that. And there's a bit of situational awareness if he's playing Kotal, because he can do either a mid-screen or do a corner combo. He can do down 3 into 3-4, swipe, the Tinder swipe. So those sorts of things, that I like those. That's to me that's the essence of a higher level in a fighting game, rather than getting in someone's face and mashing some buttons.
I feel personally attacked. I mean, look, I'm not going to lie and say like I've got some sort of look. I basically, a lot of the time, I kind of just turn my brain off and press buttons, and it works sometimes, you know. Panda and you are basically the opposite. Like, you know all the frame data. I'll start playing the game and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot my opponent could do that one move. Meanwhile, you guys are there seeing the code and going, okay, there's the. If they do this, I'm doing this. If they do this, I'm doing this. And I'm just like, hold block and hope it's my turn. So I guess maybe that's the difference. But the main reason I wanted to put MK11 in Godlike is because I would not be able to sit here and go and feel happy that we rated MK11, which is a game I love. I love MK11. I would not be happy that we rated it lower than Mortal Kombat 2. Or Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I'd be like, really? I think it's better than them, personally.
Well, what is it? What have we put it below? We've put it below the best version of 3. We've put it below.
Oh, you're doing. Oh, okay. Yeah. See.
Yeah.
I thought we were just going. Okay, this is in the Godlike, but you're also ordering it horizontally as well. I didn't realize we were doing that.
I'm a combo man. Of course, I'm ordering it.
Then in that case, 9 should probably. See, I played 9. It was the game that got me back into Mortal Kombat. But I had way more fun with 11 and X. I guess maybe because X was when I started playing fighting games properly.
This is something that we haven't said. MK11 over MKX is by far and away a better game.
It's a better video game.
Yes, that's what I mean. It's a better gaming experience. I mean, neither of the games have music, but neither of the games have music, but MKX has, and it certainly at the time had, that little spark of you play it, you win, you feel good. You lose, you don't feel that bad. You also can feel you've been outplayed. In MK11, you don't always have the feeling of I had to get outplayed here to lose.
Yeah. See, that's not something I've ever felt while playing the game, but like I say, you and Panda, you know more about these sorts of things than I do, so I can understand, like,
It's
can
rare
get
to
why-
feel outplayed in MK11. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying
Because
to be
it
very
caters to
kind.
scrub tactics.
It's very rare to feel outplayed in MK11, but in MKX, when you're getting dashed down one comboed across the screen into the corner, and then yes, there's mix, but you get mixed, and then the combo execution needs to be there in order to continue it on. Creativity as well. There is spacing. The cliche is that the meme is that there's no neutral in MKX. You got a run button, you got a mix. But there was a bit of neutral in MKX. I kind of disagree with that. There was some spacing required. There was some neutral required. You certainly played footsies with some very, very belligerent buttons. Some pretty ignorant stuff. You had some ignorant tools at your disposal. Every character did have ignorant, sodding tools at their disposal, and that's what you played footsies with. MKX took more skill to be good at than MK. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
You feel robbed more often than outplayed.
Yes, agreed.
I was thinking, yeah, that's probably true. But maybe it's because you guys are playing MK11 using the rules of most other fighting games. You're not playing MK11. You're playing how fighting games are meant to be played, and that's why you're getting beaten.
I agree.
But other people are playing MK11.
It's why Tekken 7 is not my favourite Tekken. I get this feel. I get massively beaten. I'm down to Savour You now with Brian, and you know how I'm able to pilot that character.
I don't understand how you're down to Seiru.
Because I get overwhelmed in Tekken 7 by massively aggressive offense. I get pinned in a game that you can't sidestep properly, because the movement is really quite poor across the board.
Snake edge.
I never use it. I don't use the snake edge. I used it last night out of frustration and disgust. So so I get overwhelmed by aggressive play and people with these massively aggressive flowcharts. The worst one, I prefer Raiden MKX. Controversial.
I'm not sure how it's controversial. Raiden was awesome in MK. Even I used him in MKX.
Yeah, Raiden was really cool in MKX. It was super cool in MKX. Yeah, it was super cool.
And then they put him in MK11.
They should have put the Christopher Lambert skin in MKX. Yeah.
Nah, they shouldn't. Because I don't. I feel bad listening to him talk, because I'm like, why did they get him to record voice lines? Like, it sounds like he had throat cancer or something. He's like, Raiden, I knew you'd be here, as did I, Liu Kang. It's sad. It saddens me every time I hear the
Christopher
voice.
Lambert's not a young man anymore. So yeah.
True. I mean, yeah, he did have white hair in that film in 1995.
Yeah. So the feeling I get recently is I love Tekken may well be is my franchise. Okay, I'll come out of it. Tekken is my franchise. Always has been, and I've always maintained that.
What, Virtua Fighter?
But Tekken 7 is not my game. Virtua Fighter is absolutely up there, but Virtua Fighter is my other franchise. So, and Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown is my second favourite version of that franchise as well. It's not really changed much since 4 Evolution either, so it's basically the same game as 4 Evo. So they're basically the same. So yeah, Tekken 7 is not my favourite Tekken game, even though that's my franchise. In the same way, MK11 is not my favourite Mortal Kombat game. It's probably the best Mortal Kombat game, but it's not my favourite.
You still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Okay, because my laptop tells me I have no internet.
I can see you. The beard is waggling. Yes.
I'm trying to prep the next tier list, and it's not loading the page. And then I look in the corner. Okay, now the symbols come back. Let me. I do this. Tiermate. See, it loads Google, but then it didn't load. Yeah, it's not loading tiermate.com.
All right, so there is a tier list. It's got some. It may not be perfect in every single way, but we've been at this for an hour. Bulk DDoS Tarp because of his MK11 placement.
Yeah, I mean. Oh, there we go.
Oh, the other thing is, and here's the weirdest part. My character, Brian, is the best he's ever been, in my opinion, in Tekken 7. I should be having the time of my life. But you know, I just can't. The aggressive lockdown is just not. You know, you get more aggressively locked down in Tekken 7 than around 2 years ago in April. Yeah.
Nice.
When Captain COVID came to town. Right. Shall we move on to the next list, young harps?
We can try. Your stream says there was a network error. Please try again. And it's not... Clicking on it, it's not reloading the page for me. My laptop is once again telling me I have no internet. So it's very strange that I'm still in this call. Extremely strange. The magic of Discord, I guess. It doesn't need internet.
Well, here we go. I'm going to change the bed while we're here. Now, we already have a suggestion for the next tier list. However, why not the chat throw out some suggestions about what you'd like us to discuss, and we'll try and get through it a little bit fast, quick time and in a hurry. Our suggestion for tier listery next was going to be ranking the Batman movies.
It's Batman.
Sorry, the Batman movies. So we're going to be ranking the Batman movies unless there is a different take. Favourite bird genus? It's obviously tit.
Of course.
Yes.
Well,
we're not about the thrush life, but definitely some tits.
I am so damn confused as to what's happening.
Indeed.
I can't open any web pages. I can't reload your stream.
Harps is having an internet breakdown right now.
I wouldn't mind if it was just a normal... Well, I would mind, but I'd mind less if it was just a normal drop, because I'd know what's going on.
Okay, I'll tell you on my screen, on my end, everything's running fine. Let me see. Stream Manager, Creator Dashboard on Twitch has been stable at 5,000 kilobytes per second all this time.
Oh yeah, it's my internet that's messed up, not yours.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Bear with me. Just carry on.
I will be. Okay. Well, as we are here. Oh, hang on. Holy dolly moly! All right. Boom.
I can do this. I will be back in a moment.
No worries. You get. Yeah. None of that was helpful, Bulk. Have you ever seen a hipster have a mental breakdown live in front of your face? I think you just have. We've been privileged to witness this one, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Normally, I watch Harps streams. I was going to say, yeah, normally Harps saves this sort of breakdown for when he's getting mauled in a fighting game on stream. Yeah. Of course I have. Alright, so the two suggestions are a Tekken game tier list. Batman is my thing, man. I spent as long consuming Batman information as you have with MK. Let's go! Let's go! Yeah, so the two suggestions are Batman versus Tekken, best Dragon Ball character, and why is it Goku? I don't know if that's just a little... As I get older, should I be more into Vegeta than Goku? Go in my stream and type Goku. I will do, next time you're on. I had guests over today, Panda, otherwise I would definitely have been there today. I would have had you definitely at least on in the background. Your Nightbot is godlike, mate. Your Nightbot is really on point right now. Okay, let me go. I'm going to go here and do this in the background while you watch there. Right, I'm going to search for Batman. There we go. Batman movies. Reject all the cookies. Right, I think we've got it. We've got Batman Returns, Forever, Robin, the Nolan trilogy, and The Batman. There we go. Alright, so we have it. Let me just check that it's all good in the hood. Restarting the router. Panda's not... Oh my god, Harps is... I prefer Vegeta. I'm not sure if that's a deliberate misspelling, but Stav. I wonder if that's a deliberate misspelling. Right, let me get to... Right, if I could go to here and just play... Hang on. Come on. Back to here. If I did that. Does that line it up better? Let me see. Yeah, that lines it up better. Lovely. Lovely. I was actually rewatching The Dark Knight Rises and stopped to watch this. Knowing Stav, it's not deliberate. Indeed, there's not many actual Batman movies. Lots of relatable stuff, animated, spin-off things as well. But the Batman movies, there weren't many of them, but my god did they have a massive impact. Massive impact. I know I might be able to populate this list without Harps even being here. Damn it, he's back. He's
trying to do these things without me, how rude. Alright, how do I pop that out? There we go. Pop out button. Sweet. Trying to do stuff on your stream without me? How rude.
Deliberate DDoS may or may not have been deliberate. Now, I'm not suggesting for a second that there was any foul play in what just happened with Harps's poor internet. All I can tell you is that some of his bank accounts may have been frozen in international sanctions recently. Can't think why. He is a connected chap.
Panda says I have an echo now.
Alright, let's go to
Why
Discord.
do none of these things work? Yeah, just in case anyone doesn't know, well, I'm sure they won't know because we haven't told them. Just before this, we literally tested the audio earlier to make sure everything was fine, and then 10 minutes before the stream started, we joined a Discord call, and Bulk could not hear me.
So but the only variable that I changed was I put the tier maker on this monitor, the monitor which I actually game on when I'm not playing on stream. But when I put the HDMI cable into the back of the laptop, it meant that audio was going to feed through the laptop as well, and this laptop doesn't have speakers. I've got a very fancy laptop over there on the HAL 9000 that I use for Photoshop, and that's got speakers. Although you don't use the speakers because you use the speakers that come with the computer, which are much better. Yeah.
Of course.
The monitor over there is the kind of monitor that Panda would love to be able to play Warzone and stuff on. Alright. Harps is checking, does he have an echo? No production is happening in front of your eyeballs, ladies and gentlemen.
It heard me go, yeah, and it didn't sound like it had an echo. I like the way Panda says, yeah, he has an echo when he speaks. Well, yeah, I'm not going to have an echo when both
It's not
speaks.
an echo. It's not an echo, Panda. It's just his middle-class gravitas.
It didn't sound like I had an echo, but...
Okay.
But then again, last night, I heard, during Panda's stream, especially during the Be Right Back stream, it did this thing that I hadn't heard on Twitch since the very first Mortal Kombat 11 stream they did, where the music was sort of like the tempo kept sort of changing, like
warping.
The stream,
Yeah,
like warping, like so instead of the music going like do 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 do, instead of that it was like woo 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 woo. And that's kind of like what Panda's stream did very briefly last night, and then he checked and he couldn't hear it and he thought I was lying. What a bastard! Right?
Stav says if Harp's voice was a little lower, it would sound Batmanish. It depends on how hard. It depends on how hard he's been hit in the throat, I think.
If it was a little lower, I could do a Steve Bloom impression. Panda says he sounds like he's in a cave.
There's yours.
Sounds like he's in a cave. I'm Batman.
Everyone say hi, Mrs. Bulk.
Hi, Mrs. Bulk.
There we go.
I'm Vengeance.
You
Yeah,
two,
which Batman voice though, Steph?
Which
Sounds
Batman voice?
but which one? Which one?
Which Batman
All
voice?
kind of similar.
Okay, right.
Tell me where the Joker is.
I am going to head over to here. And we've got. I'm going to start off with. I'm not going to do these in chronological order. I'm not going to do them like that. I am going to do this straight away. And let me first just sort these out. So that's goated. Yeah.
I like the way Bulk seemingly completely ignored Panda's complaints about the audio issue. I mean, nothing changed. Literally, all I did was, restart the router. I don't see why that would make the microphone do that. Now I'm speaking more. I can check by watching the thing. Hey, look, power streaming. He's crossing the streams. He doesn't know the rules.
It's okay. I mean, he gave us a wide berth. So the next is godlike, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go.
I see what Panda's on about now. It doesn't sound like I'm in a cave. It sounds like I'm stood out the front of a 7-Eleven talking to the wall. That's what it sounds like.
How do you spell Nicholson?
No, it's Nick Olson.
O-L. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I thought it didn't look right. And then we got decent. Okay. All right. Decent.
This is gonna be hard to choose a goat. It's gonna be hard.
It is. I've got a very clear.
Also, that's not all the Batman films. Where's Batman and Robin?
It's there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's in D already.
Oh yeah, the one that's there,
yeah,
of course.
yeah,
I'm like, where is that obvious glaring omission? Oh yes, he's already moved it. I will shut up. What could have caused that audio issue then?
No idea.
No
idea.
Settings have changed. Oh, maybe. Maybe.
What was the guy's name that does the coffee adverts now?
There are coffee adverts.
There you go.
Is that better? Is that different? That's the question.
Done. Okay. Lovely. Alright, so we've got Because I'm Batman. And then for Godlike, we've got Nicholson. And then we have Brain. And then we have Mr. Freeze for below par. And then Absolute Toilet, Clooney. And then just a joke. Yeah. Alright.
I'm looking at my Discord settings and echo cancellation is off. I mean, it's on, sorry.
We're just going to go. We're just going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it. We're going to take our time. We're going to say what it is that...
It doesn't sound too bad anyway. It's not like super annoying.
I'm going to put this... I'm going to put it there. I'm going to put it there. Because it's... for me, Batman and Robin, although it has some redeemably comic moments in that it is so bad that you find it funny, it's just bad. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jim Carrey, no, he's in the other one, isn't he? No, even Arnold Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman can't lift this movie, this in my opinion steaming pile of rubberized latex buttock propping. I feel like the whole movie was built around the scene of the trio, Batman, Robin and Batgirl, getting dressed, where you saw nipples, and I think you saw nipples for a first time, or maybe that was in Batman Forever.
Bat nipples.
Yeah, bat nips, yes. You also saw gratuitous buttock shots, and of course they had Alicia Silverstone. So, yeah, that was what they showed. I feel like they built the whole movie around that and forgot to do anything else. And then even Arnie couldn't lift it. Even Uma couldn't lift it. They didn't give Uma any good lines. Yeah. What do you have to say about that, Hobbs?
I haven't seen that film since it first came out. But I've seen.
It does have Bane. It does have Bane. Panda just
have Bane.
It does have a
It's not a
Bane.
good Bane, though, is it? It's not a good Bane. But yeah, I haven't seen it since it came out, and I remember thinking, after watching the previous, the two Tim Burton films, watching Batman Forever and then Batman and Robin, I was like, oh, I should stop watching Batman then. It was basically Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are the Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance and Deception of Batman films, because they made me go, I'm done with this. And I was going to say we shouldn't put it down that low because Arnie does have such classic lines like, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age! But if that's not the worst Batman film, what is? So I think it goes along there. And I think you are right. Arnie does have some good lines, but it doesn't save the film.
No. Even Arnie can't save it. Even
just
the last action hero can't save it. Now,
I love that film.
I'm going to be moving on up here. Now, the hardest Batman to play is this one. I'm just going to put him randomly here for now, just to place them. The hardest Batman to play is that one. Why?
What do you mean by that?
Val Kilmer in Batman Forever replaced Michael Keaton. It's like Roger Moore replacing, or George Lazenby, replacing Sean Connery. First of all, you have to fill some boots, but secondly, you are the second one, which means you can be replaced. For a while, Sean Connery, to his public, is irreplaceable. Jason Bourne, Matt Damon, is irreplaceable. Until you get replaced, and that is Val Kilmer. So already, he's off to a very shaky start, because they proved the point, we can replace the heck out of you. And boy did they.
They did.
Now, as a movie though, the Val Kilmer one, I don't want to have it down here. It's not hugely... I don't think it's that offensive. I don't think it's the sort of thing that makes you want to claw my eyeballs out of my own skull.
In my mind, they're interchangeable. They're basically like, oh, those are those two Joel Schumacher ones. They both share the same problems. They're just bad. But it's been many.
But what I would say, where Arnold could not lift what is the worst Batman movie ever made, I think Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey do lift this role. Val Kilmer couldn't lift. Val Kilmer doesn't lift. I don't think Val Kilmer can lift. He played Doc Hollywood in Tombstone. Where
I've never seen.
Have you never seen it? It's a great movie. Tombstone's a fantastic. He plays alcoholic Doc Hollywood in his last days of life. So a gunslinging, sharpshooting, womanizing, gambling personality. Great character. And he also had the benefit of you're playing a character who is on his last legs and is about to die of consumption and liver failure, and he still screws it up.
Who did Val Kilmer play in Top Gun? The Iceman.
Val Kilmer in Top Gun is just a pair of oiled pecs. That's it. Mountie 789, welcome home, everybody. How's you doing? All right.
I mean, Val Kilmer was great in Willow, though, as Mad Mardigan.
He was decent in Heat. In Heat, do you remember Heat?
No, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen one of the greatest movies ever made?
Nah.
De Niro, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer.
Nah.
It's
no.
like a.
I couldn't even tell you what it's about.
It's like a 2-hour gunfight in the middle of New York. It's.
That sounds okay.
Okay. When we do the TC meetup, I'm putting that Blu-ray on. I'm putting that bad boy on. I'm going to educate the team. I'm going to educate that
Patton
team.
says, you've seen there's a Top Gun sequel coming out. Yeah, it was meant to come out years ago. It's been delayed and delayed and delayed, and I saw a trailer for it today when I went to go see Dumbledore film, and I was like, it looks alright. Maybe I should watch Top Gun. I haven't seen Top Gun since like the early 90s. Maybe I should watch that again. But I saw the trailer for the new one, and I was like, looks alright. I guess I never really gave much of a crap about Top Gun, to be fair. Yeah, it's I love Jim Carrey, and I didn't really know much about Tommy Lee Jones. I knew my introduction to Tommy Lee Jones was Men in Black. I was like, oh, I like this guy, straight-faced, dour man, opposite Will Smith. He was lucky he didn't get punched. Jim Carrey, I love Jim Carrey. I don't love every film he's been in. I love Ace Ventura. I love Ace Ventura 2. I love The Mask. Struggle to think of more. Oh, well, do I love the first Sonic film? I don't know if I love it, but he's great in it. But I did not like him as the Riddler. I did like him as Edward Nygma. I thought he was good in that because he had a sort of it was almost sympathetic, and then he became a cartoon, and I was like, I know Jim Carrey is usually a cartoon, but this is ridiculous.
Are you trying to say I do not like this man in green? I do not like what I have seen. I do not like green eggs and ham. Is that what you're saying?
Tommy Lee Jones does not sanction his buffoonery, but they both play villains getting up to some goonery.
Okay, yeah, the Edward, I think because Jim Carrey just came off of The Mask before going into Batman Forever, and Hunter, I'm so good. I hope if it's a boy, you call him Bulk, and if it's a girl, it'll be Bulkiana. Yeah.
I just saw Panda say Tommy Lee Jones was great in that film where he plays a U.S. Marshal. Are you thinking of Natural Born Killers?
No, I think he's thinking of U.S. Marshals.
Oh.
Isn't Tommy Lee Jones in a movie called U.S. Marshals where he plays a U.S. Marshal? Yeah.
I don't know. U.S. Marshals. U.S. Marshals isn't exactly a title that makes me go, I want to see that. But yes, also I think he was a prison warden in Natural Born Killers, not a U.S. Marshal.
To Harps, hearing a film name like U.S. Marshals is like us hearing Belgian librarian. It's not good.
Yeah, you exactly. Or like small off-duty Czechoslovakian traffic warden. Although I would watch a film if it was called that, to be fair.
I would watch that. I'd watch the ever-loving heck out of that.
I love the fact he's specifically off-duty.
Okay, so yes.
Yeah, let's stick it in the...
We're going to put it there on the basis of, in my opinion, the vast majority of the Batman movies are not that bad. Actually, they're all incredibly good. There's a huge body of work there that's incredibly good. And I don't think, apart from the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, that, you know, the Clooney one, that any of them are really that bad. So I've put Val and friends in below par with Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
Mr. Freeze themselves being below par because, you know, they're the best part of the worst movie.
That Riddler was my favourite with Jim and Two-Face. Mr. Jones crazy was great. They both understood their brief. I can't believe Tommy Lee Jones said to Jim Carrey, I cannot sanction your buffoonery. And then you look at Tommy Lee Jones in that film and you're like, you know what buffoonery is because you're doing it.
But also, they had Tommy Lee Jones had the best sidekicks in of the Batman franchise because he had the Sugar and Spice, or the Naughty and Nice girls.
I don't remember them. I'm trying to think. There must
literally
be
the only reason I would watch that movie.
Sidekicks.
They were brilliant.
There must be a villain with better sidekicks, or maybe not.
Yeah, because he had two girls, like two femme fatales, and one was nice and one was like evil for the different personalities. Yeah.
The duality, get it?
You see. I mean, yes. I think it says something about duality of man.
Yeah. Something. Right. Okay. So.
All right. So let's move on. Let's leave that one. I've
never heard anyone describe Batman Forever as a middle of the road Batman film, but okay.
I want to deal with the one that I haven't seen. I want to deal with this one next. Where do we feel the Batman goes? I'm just going to pop him there so I can adjust my screen a little bit. There we go. where do we feel the Batman goes? Now, I haven't seen it. I'm disinclined to watch it because I despise the idea of Robert Pattinson. And knowing that he deliberately chose not to bulk up for the role, when even Michael Keaton did some sit-ups and push-ups. Even
You know why he didn't bulk up for the role?
because he's an idiot.
No, because when the film starts, he's only been Batman for 2 years. So he's like a smaller, sort of not quite as imposing figure, because he's still new to being Batman.
Okay,
and
so
see,
I'm going to defer to your superior judgment as to where we stick the Batman.
Yeah, it's the first film I've seen with him in it, because, you know, obviously he's just the guy from Twilight, and like he's been a joke for years, but I've never had anything against the guy. And he's really good in that film, but the problem with that film is everyone's really good in it. I know it's not really a problem, but still. This is a genuine problem now. It might be goated. It is such a good film, and I can't believe you're going to not see it for such a stupid reason, Bulk. It is so good. It's so good. But Dark Knight exists, so that's why I don't know if I can say it's goated, because we can only have one that's goated. So at the very least, it's Nicholson.
Okay. Did you hear the slip, ladies and gentlemen? The Jungian Freudian slip there, the Mickelson. There we go.
Well,
all right.
It's because the chat is covering half the word, so I just saw sun at the end.
Okay.
Right.
Let's talk
Panda
about.
says, rate that Dumbledore film out of 10. I will rate it out of 10, but you have to know this, Panda. I've only ever seen Harry Potter 1, Harry Potter 2, Harry Potter the very final one, and this third Fantastic Beasts.
Bruce,
so I'm missing.
Sorry. Go. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm missing a lot of stuff. It was fun, I guess. 2 hours went by without me. I was like, it's 4 o'clock already. I wasn't sat there going, I love this film, but I also wasn't sat there going, this is boring. It was okay. I'll never watch it again, but it was okay. I guess 6 out of 10. I guess that's 7 out of 10 because I don't care about Harry Potter. So there's that.
It sounds like a Tinder review, if I'm honest. Right. 2 hours went by, nothing really happened. 6 out of 10?
Nice.
Right, I want to talk about this one. Low-key, one of my favourite movies of all time.
Agreed.
Batman Returns. Michael Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer, Danny DeVito, and let's not forget the man himself. The man who I've forgotten.
I'm waiting for you to say his name so I can do the line. You know the guy, he played Max Shrek.
Christopher flipping Walken.
Foo Fighters! He is great in that. That was my introduction to Christopher Walken, that film.
Yes, Walken. So, we were discussing this off stream. Batman Returns, if you think about it for the time, especially for the time, late 80s, very early 90s, Batman Returns, I think it's like 1989 or 1990, isn't it? Batman Returns. It's got to be one of those, because Batman's 88.
Well, no. Tim Burton's Batman, or as it's commonly referred to, Batman 89, was released in 89.
89, thank you. All right.
Batman Returns, I'm pretty sure, was 91. The same year as Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay. So there we go. So, for the time, Keaton, DeVito, Pfeiffer. Oh my God, Pfeiffer. Oh my goodness. Pfeiffer again.
About sexual awakenings.
Yes. And Walken. This is a heavyweight lineup. It's a massive, heavyweight, hard-hitting. This is such a heavyweight lineup of actors of the time. They're the kind of people that go to the Oscars and expect to get slapped in the face. They expect to leave the Oscars with a 10-year ban. That's how OD these people were back in the day. Now, Batman Returns combines humour, it combines action, it combines Michelle Pfeiffer, leather, great performances. Even Christopher Walken, absolute electricity on screen. Danny DeVito is the flipping Penguin, though. Danny DeVito is the Penguin. He is Oswald Cobblepot.
Was that a pun you just said about Walken, and you glossed right over it without giving people a chance to laugh?
Exactly. Yes, I did. And
I
Selena,
didn't know that I picked up on it.
I saw you pick up on it, and I didn't want anyone else to notice.
But yes, Oswald Cobblepot, Danny DeVito.
Yes, and of course Michelle Pfeiffer as Selena Kyle as Catwoman, and just fire. I mean, it's like Michael Keaton is her catnip. Frankly, there is chemistry on screen, and it just works. The supposed demise of Kyle, the demise of Christopher Walken's character, the death of the Penguin. You know, it's just a great movie from start to finish, and I think for me, it's easily at least top 3.
Yeah, definitely. I would say Nicholson is where it belongs, because it's just I saw the original Batman 1989 like a few times as a kid, but Batman Returns, I had it on video, and that thing was always being played. I was like, Batman, it's so good. Like, I mean, basically for all the reasons you just said, everyone in it is awesome, just like the Batman. And I mean, think about it. The Batman and Batman Returns, they both have Catwoman, they both have Penguin. They're both awesome. I mean, I'm seeing a trend here. It's just so dark, it's grim. Batman kills so many people in that film. This is why I have an issue with people going, Batman doesn't kill. I'm like, maybe in the comics he doesn't kill, but in everything else,
Dark Batman is where he's best, and Tim Burton Batman kills a lot of people.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
He loves it as well. Like, there's a bit in the opening scene at the Christmas tree lighting where all those clowns show up, and like this guy has a bomb or something or dynamite, and he runs at Batman, and Batman does like some sort of trick, and then he just smiles, and the guy looks down, sees the dynamite, Batman just walks away, and then he dies, and I'm like,
yes,
oh, you smiled at that guy.
Yes.
Okay.
He takes pleasure in the death of goons.
Yes, exactly. Because he cannot sanction their goonery, basically. But I did like how in Batman Returns, when Michelle Pfeiffer meets Batman, she goes, "Oh, it's the Batman, or is it just Batman?" And I was like, that's a good question. I've never heard anyone call him the Batman, you know. And then obviously in Dark Knight, they call him the Batman all the time, and I thought, yeah, I mean, that does make sense. You would call him the Batman.
Yeah, indeed.
And then, of course, they made a film called The Batman, and it's really good, and both should see it.
They also lead away, like they sequelize Batman 89. They sequelize it really well by explaining very very quickly the problems with what's the girl who plays the reporter? Kim Basinger. Sorry.
Vicky Vale was the...
Yeah, Vicky Vale, Kim Basinger. They explain the problems with Vicky Vale's character, like Kim Basinger's character in Batman. In that when they have the scene with Michael Keaton and Alfred, where they say, yeah, oh well, thanks Alfred for just letting her in. She just walked into the Batcave. You know, I'm not surprised.
People were like, how did that happen?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then,
thanks, Alfred.
I like the way Hunter says, Harps, what's your favourite Batman movie? That's kind of what we're literally talking about right now.
Yes, exactly. And yes. So let's get on back to here. Now, the one I want to approach next, I want to approach this one. The Dark Knight. The Christopher Nolan origin. The return to... I wouldn't say... It's not a return to innocence. It's just more a return to broodiness. Where do we think poor Christian... I've probably got throat cancer Bale is going to sit?
I haven't seen... I think Panda thinks you think The Dark Knight is the original film of that trilogy.
The Dark Knight is Batman Begins is the first one. Yes.
Batman Begins is the first one. The clue is in the name. The Dark Knight, it's weird. I've only seen it once. Well, no, Panda. He didn't say that this was the first film in the trilogy. He said this was the return of innocence.
Yes.
Theme to Batman Begins.
No, I made a gaffe. I did a Biden right there. I looked at the three and just thought that was the first one. I thought that was the first one. Yeah, so I'm sorry.
So Panda was
I was looking for Batman Begins, but I couldn't read it because I'm kind of old. There it is, Batman Begins. I found it. So anyway,
I should have had less faith in you and more faith in Panda. Right.
That's usually how the betting goes when me and Panda play against each other.
So we're doing Batman Begins now, are we?
Let's do Batman Begins. Yes, Batman Begins.
Yes. All right, this will be easy. I haven't seen it.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna put Batman Begins. I want to put Batman. Let me go godlike. I'm gonna put him in Bane. Decent. Because as great as Christian Bale is, and he is, in my opinion, great. He is great in everything that he does.
He's an alright Batman. Robert Pattinson's a better Batman.
Oh, that's good. That's tempting. Okay, so Christian Bale is great. He did bulk up for the role. What really annoys me about Batman Begins is the former Mrs. Tom Cruise. It's what's her name? Katie Holmes, sideways mouth, nipple pointing Katie Holmes. The only reason they have her in the movie is that she can point her nipples out of her braless jumper combo and have a sideways mouth. I really hate Katie Holmes' sideways mouth.
What do you want? A sideways? What? She talks like this?
She talks on her side. It's like her mouth is this way and her face is upright.
I'm having a hard time visualizing this.
You need to, what you need to do is her mouth is like a vajuju and her face is upright. She's Cthulhu. Yes, that's right. Cthulhu with the vajuju mouth. You need to Google it. You can see it now, right? Can you see it? She has a sideways mouth going on, and she's a sideways mouth and nipples. Essentially, she's an upside down lady.
Don't freak mouth shame her.
It's only when she's talking, or smiling, or looking at a camera.
Well, here's a picture of her smiling, and it looks aligned. It looks slanted. I'll give you that. It looks crooked.
She does that when she's talking.
You know who talks like this, where they actually do move their mouth completely to the side?
Stroke victims.
Kind of. Connie Huck, the old Blue Peter presenter.
Yeah, okay, I think Connie Huck's very, very fit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, as did I. But I couldn't stand the way that every time she spoke, it was like this. It's like, bro, you've got another half of your mouth. Maybe you should use it. That always used to bug me. So when you said sideways mouth, that's what I thought of. He's doing it, look. That's a risky thing here. Sideways mouth. I see what you.
Katie Holmes. Hang on, what's Katie Holmes? Bell's palsy is in there. Oh my goodness. Katie Holmes. Batman.
Then oh dear.
Begins. Yes. Okay. Let me see a real quick snippet of her talking.
Panda says, imagine if her and Tom Cruise had kids. Didn't they have kids?
No, they didn't have kids. I don't think Tom Cruise has any kids, does he?
I don't know. He goes, his smile is off center and her tooth goes vertical. It's not that his smile is off center.
Can you see this on the stream, by the way? Can you see this on the stream? Okay.
Yeah. Tom Cruise's mouth isn't off center. He just has a tooth in the center of his face. You can't unsee it once you see it.
It's the end. I want the end scene. I want the end scene.
You must have been loving it when they replaced her character in The Dark Knight.
Not at all. I loved it. I love the. There it is. It's already beginning. She hasn't said a word. It's already beginning.
What are you on about?
Can you not see her face is contorting to the side?
She's smiling on one side of her mouth. I'll give you that. I wouldn't say it's vertical. You might have been exaggerating.
Batman
Christian Bale's list was more annoying
Begins.
I must admit.
Final scene. There we go. Final scene. Where is it? Here we go.
I like it. We're taking this huge detour and he's wrong.
Right, can you see all this on screen? Can you see all this on screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to head on over so I can see what you can see.
Steph says, I'd give Connie a hook.
Here we go. It's beginning.
Batman beginning.
There is angles that should not happen on her face.
It's like she's smirking out of the right side of her mouth and she can't stop it.
See what I mean? Do you see what I mean?
I see something that's barely noticeable that I probably never would have picked up on if you hadn't mentioned it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it went vertical for a second there. Oh shit, can't unsee it.
Katie Holmes' Vajuju face. There we go.
No,
you didn't.
Google Katie Holmes' Vajuju face.
Did you see her nipples at the beginning? Because that was it. No. That was the reason for having her in the movie. All right.
It looks like she's smirking on half of her face.
The Dark Knight Rises. No, Dark Knight. The one with the Joker. Right, I'm going to go ahead and put that...
Hang on. Did we place Batman Begins?
I've put them tentatively in Bane and we didn't change it.
Oh, right, okay, so
So decent.
I thought there'd be a confirmation,
Yeah. Are you happy with that placement?
I think putting multiple things on the list before we're ready to get to them is a bit confusing.
It's just to shut Panda up so I don't, miss a movie by accident. Or put the wrong one up.
We're not doing them in order, so it doesn't really matter, does it? Right, yeah, okay. I'm happy with that placement for
right, let's... I'm going to very quickly put The Dark Knight Rises back in the tempo-y thing while we deal with The Dark Knight. Joker. Heath Ledger running amok around Gotham City. Like a dog chasing a car.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan?
That's very good. Harps, that's very good. That's really very good.
That's my first time doing a Heath Ledger impression. I figured I would bust out there live.
I want to do that. My instinct says...
You guys want to see a magic trick?
I'm going to make this pencil disappear. Alright, so Heath Ledger, obviously... Now, I've heard the argument of... I would say Heath Ledger was outrageous in his performance. And I've heard the counterpoint of he got really good lines. It was really well written. And I always say, yeah, and he really nails it too.
Yeah, both of those things can be true.
Yes. Yes. We'll see how we go, Hunter. Maybe. I mean, we've already done 2 hours. We've done 2 hours for 2 lists. Admittedly, one of those lists was like an hour and 45. We're
dwelling quite a lot on some of these.
Yeah, just
going on massive tangents about sideways mouths.
Once you've seen it, you cannot unsee it, and
yeah,
I've now consigned Batman Begins to the Bane tier forever. Yeah, yes. Because of her sideways mouth.
So the Dark Knight, yep, it's if that's not the GOAT, the Batman is. It's as simple as that.
So wait. The Dark Knight. You want him in I Am Batman?
Yeah, because Hunter, that's my favourite Batman film. I saw it once 10 years ago and haven't seen it again.
I am inclined to acquiesce to your request, and I'm also going to do that. Something that I know Harps is going to shooketh Harps's sensibilities right to the core, because only one can be the GOAT. That's why it's the GOAT, just like he is the Batman.
I'm a little bit concerned now, because if you're putting more than one film in the GOAT, then the Batman has to be up there too.
Ooh!
Because it's so good, Bob.
Controversial.
So good.
Controversial.
Leave it in, Nicholson. Yeah, I haven't seen The Dark Knight Rises either. I've only
what?
Of that trilogy, I've only seen the middle one.
Dark Knight Rises, for me, is the best of the lot. For me,
That's a spicy take.
Okay, chat, back me up on this.
I often hear it.
As amazing as Heath Ledger, and my God, is it it's the sort of performance that you'd be happy to end your life with. The Joker. I hope that's not gone too far. With Heath Ledger's performance is outrageously good. It's certainly award worthy. His performance as the Joker, and the writing of that film is just so amazingly godlike.
Yeah,
Dark Knight Rises with British-born Bane doing his thing is even better. As a movie, is even better than Dark Knight. Oh, you think? Oh, Panda thinks the other way around. Tom Hardy's Bane accent's great.
I can't believe...
Because no one knows what Bane's meant to sound like anyway.
He's meant to sound Mexican. He's a Mexican luchador. He's a Mexican luchador, and instead he sounds like this. Now, admittedly, it did give us that voice, and that voice is awesome. I may have not seen the film, but I know things.
Everyone knows the voice.
Wondering why he would shoot him out instead of throwing him out of the plane. It's a great voice to me, but it's not Bane. It's some guy going like this. Where's Bane? Also, I haven't seen the film, but I've seen clips of Bane. Not even close to Joker. It isn't. I'm not even upset that you put two films in the goated category. I'm upset of which film you put in the goated category. I haven't even seen it, and I know it's not as good as the Batman.
It sounds like a posh guy that's had a stroke talking into a Pringles can.
Yeah. That's because that's what I am. Oh, you were born in the darkness. Oh, I messed up the quote and everything. Yeah, and so on. I was going to do a Joker thing, but I'm not going to push my...
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hang on, I need to adjust my screen a little bit. Putting two films in the top category has wrecked my formatting. Let me tell you. There we go. All right.
Like I said, should have done this list with me, man. The only one I haven't seen is the Batman. Yeah, and it blows my mind that Stan hasn't seen the Batman, because he is a huge Batman fan, and the Batman is amazing. And we were supposed to see it last weekend. That never happened for some reason. And then we were going to see Sonic the day after, and that never happened for some reason.
Okay. You know, I was talking about the relationship between Michael Keaton's Batman. Sorry, excuse me. I was talking about the relationship of the best Batman and Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. As
yes, I do remember.
as really cool, as just so incredibly well done. I actually think that Christian Bale's Batman and God, what is her? I do forget people's names. What is the Catwoman in
Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway, and Anne Hathaway, she's actually a very good actress. She's an incredibly good actress.
I've only seen her in a couple of things. I don't rate her personally.
No, I think she's a very good actress, and she's beautiful too. I think Bale and Anne Hathaway's Catwoman, their relationship and her Catwoman is great. I believe better than Pfeiffer's and Keaton's. I think that there's actually better. So, Anne Hathaway and Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises actually elevate the film, and Tom Hardy takes it to a completely different, higher level. What about Pattinson and Levitz, though?
Yeah.
Kravitz. Oh, is it Lenny Kravitz's daughter?
Yes, it is. Zoe Kravitz, a wonderful young lady.
Okay. If Zoe Kravitz is in it, is it Zoe Kravitz?
Yeah, I'd never heard of her until this film came out.
Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Yeah, I've heard of him. I mean,
Heracles! It's bloody Heracles! It's Heracles!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! It's Heracles!
Perhaps he was wondering why Heracles would show up. Heracles, you legend, how goes it?
Heracles, where have you been?
Does he really look like a guy with a plan? Who else is there? Who else? Oh, there's I'm trying to think of a Danny DeVito Penguin quote. A nice cold glass of ice water.
Yeah,
That was the only
Blitz.
quote I could think of.
Heracles, Blitz was here earlier. She has a girl now. She's got a baby girl, and I'm sure you know everything about that, Heracles. Where were you a year ago?
Oh my.
Because we didn't see Blitz in the chat a year ago, or Heracles for that matter.
Yes, it is a bit of a strange.
Putting buns in the oven of a Canadian bakery, I think. Yes.
Yes,
Right.
I like it.
Apparently her daughter looks like a Tinder legend in the making. I don't think we can say that about people's children. We wouldn't want to say that about a Padette, would we?
Right, we've got one more film.
We've got one more film. Hang on. And I'm going to put it in that category, and Harps is now going to argue why it's not as good, why it's not better than The Dark Knight.
It's not even better than Batman Returns. It's not even better than. Oh, I mean, look, I didn't watch it all that much when I was. Look, The Dark Knight, Batman Returns, and The Batman are better than it. There, I said it. Spicy take. It's good, you know. Jack
It's a good thing.
Nicholson.
I'll tell you what. It's a good thing we're doing this over the internet, because I would have punched you right now. I would.
Let's get nuts.
I would have gone crazy. You want to go crazy?
Yeah. I mean, look. In the Batman, he didn't let Vicky Vale into the Batcave. There is that.
This is true. But look, Michael Keaton Batman, Tim Burton recreated, because just think of before Tim Burton, we had Adam West. Before Tim Burton, we had who played the Joker? Roman. I forget the name. Cesar Romero. So we had Cesar Romero and Adam West, which were probably the best parts of the entire series, in my opinion. Cesar Romero and Adam West were the best thing, and they're walking along the floor while climbing up a rope, like on a vertical building. They're doing ridiculous 60s dancing. It's camp to the eyeballs. It's gone Batman Forever. Yeah, it was Batman Forever before Batman Forever was a thing, before Joel Schumacher was a thing.
Yeah, that's more true than perhaps even you know, because Joel Schumacher said that he was trying. The reason why those two films are so sort of dumb and bright and colourful is because he was trying to capture the essence of the original 60s TV show, which is
Yes,
why
the
it's so
campness,
bad.
yeah.
And I don't really rate the 60s TV show, to be honest.
Exactly. So Tim Burton took this beautiful nugget of my second favourite superhero of all time, and its deep, interesting lore, and was able to essentially reinvent it back to being to what it was used to being, of a tormented soul dealing with depravity in the dark streets of Gotham. And darkness, my god, did he nail that. You've got mafia bosses with their girlfriends on the side. You've got Jack Nicholson's character, Jack, is just legendary in the whole thing. Jerry Hall, the former Mrs. Mick Jagger, Jerry Hall is in there. She was a supermodel back then. Okay, Jerry Hall was a supermodel, and then did a couple of movies, and Batman was one of them. Yeah, Adam West Batman is the most like a comic book, as the others are permanent and darker. Yes, but it made that transition, and for me, I feel it's better to have been done that way. You've got a really dark the Batmobile, the most iconic Batmobile of the lot, in my opinion. Yes, yeah. the best Batmobile. Yes, it is. It definitely is the best Batmobile. The Batmobile has got actual machine guns on it, and you know he
doesn't kill people though.
He doesn't kill people. Yeah, he doesn't kill people. The Batmobile was the chicks dig the car. That's the only good line from Batman Forever.
I mean, the thing, like, I'm not trying to besmirch the legacy of what it achieved. It's kind of, because, like you say, it basically took Batman that was in terms of TV and cinematic experience was kind of like, hey, it's a dumb, silly little thing, and then it became the 80s version of Gritty, which by today's standards is campy and lame, but
True.
It was gritty back then compared to what we had before.
Prince did the soundtrack, man.
You say that like I like Prince's music. Prince is like, I mean, Prince basically. I was going to say Prince is like Batman 1989. I respect it for what it achieved. And I was going to say, but I don't care about it. But I do care about Batman. It's a good film. I just don't personally. I think. See, Goated though. Goated is that's.
It's goated. It's goated. You've got incredible dialogue. You've got incredible action. You have really gritty action. When you look at it, what is essentially a family movie. You have Jack falling into the vat of chemicals at Ace Chemicals. You have these great special effects where, like, you'll have the Batmobile storming the chemical factory, blowing a rectangular Batmobile-shaped hole in the wall with his machine guns, getting in, sealing itself up in that like bomb-proof barricade with all the bad guys around, dropping a bomb and blowing itself up, and then blowing up the factory and getting out of there. And all of that was done without Batman in it. That's such a great scene.
It's really. I should maybe.
It's really cool.
I'm gonna rewatch that. I'm gonna add it to my list of films I need to rewatch.
Jack Nicholson shooting down the Batwing, which the first time you see the Batwing on screen. Oh my god! The Batwing. For effing heck, the bat flipping wing. When it flies up through the clouds in front of the moon, makes the bat symbol. Everyone lost their stuff right then.
Well, that was that film, was it? I thought that.
Yeah, that was in Batman 1. It wasn't in Returns. That was in 1.
The more you talk about this film, the more I'm thinking maybe it's goated.
So yeah, in the Injustice 2 super move where the Batwing goes up and then comes down.
I know that's a reference to it.
Yeah, it's from Batman 1, and and the Joker, Jack Nicholson's Joker, shoots the Batwing down with a revolver that he pulls out of his pants that is like 6 foot long.
Yeah, that's
it's huge.
Stupidly long gun.
Huge.
It is funny
stupidly long gun.
When he fires it though, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
The thing is though, watching The Dark Knight, I was like, Jack who? You know, because Heath Ledger's performance, I was like, okay, this is the Joker. I'm okay with that film being in the goated list, even though I personally prefer other Batman films.
So it's
comfortable with Dark Knight Rises being in there, but I haven't seen it, so that's fair. I guess we can.
Dark Knight Rises is, I mean, I believe it's better than the Dark Knight. However, other people disagree, and I think that's Ledger's performance, final performance, penultimate performance, but final Batman performance is just so iconic, and you can't take that away from him.
It was so good. It was so good that when I first, I've never really cared about Joker, as I keep saying. The first time I ever saw Heath Ledger's Joker was just him in the police cell, sat in a chair, looking at the camera, and I was like, "What have they done to the Joker? Look at this clown. This is meant to be the Joker, whatever." And then I saw The Dark Knight, and it was like on The Simpsons when Poochie was in Itchy and Scratchy, and then whenever Poochie wasn't on screen, they're like, "Where's Poochie? I want to see more Poochie." That's what I was like. Every time Heath Ledger was not on screen in that film, I was like, man, let's get back to Heath Ledger, because I just need to see more of that. It was so good.
It is true. The rest of The Dark Knight is pretty forgettable.
That's not what I meant.
Compared to Heath Ledger.
I would say even still no, because I'm trying to think of a scene where he just straight up wasn't in it. He was in the opening. You
got all the Maggie Gyllenhaal and Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah, see, I don't care about that.
Yeah, you got those scenes like Maggie. Maggie Gyllenhaal's brilliant. Maggie Gyllenhaal is fantastic.
Pretty good.
But I think she had a really bad character to play. I think the character of Rachel is just a rubbish character.
Yeah, because I didn't see Batman Begins.
Yeah.
I was watching that film, going, "Who is this? I know who Harvey Dent is. Who's this?" I agree with Panda though, because he says Dark Knight should be in there on its own. Because it seems weird to have more than one greatest of all time, but when you've got 3 films that are this good,
Now, what Panda said was, and what you have said, Dark Knight is top, and then everything else drops down a tier. And I'm going on the proviso of, apart from one, if you just forget that one of them exists, and realise that another one was very experimental and it was just a mistake, there's not a bad Batman movie. We just don't worry about the Joel Schumacher ones.
Yeah, these aren't all the Batman films though. There's like a bunch of animated ones.
Yes.
I haven't seen those.
Batman Ninja is great until the final scene. Batman Ninja's brilliant until you get robotized Gundam things. They're rubbish.
There was also a Batman and the Ninja Turtles. That was a film.
Yes. Yeah, there's lots of stuff. Panda's with me on that. Great Batman Ninja is incredible, and then you feel cheated by the ending. You're watching it thinking this is really building up. This is getting really good, and then the ending, and you go, what the hell is that? Someone just stole my wallet, my car keys.
I think it's like fighting me in Mortal Kombat. You're like, yeah, this is fun, and then you get robbed.
It's the robbery factor. Yeah, it's the MK11 ending. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. I think I'll be okay with having more than one film in the goated list.
If I could change the order.
If you just swap the Dark Knight and Batman '89 over, it's perfect.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen in the chat, this is Harps' list, and this is my list. And that's literally the only difference. There we go. We're going to leave it on Harps out of respect for my co-host. Yes.
That wasn't perfectly my list, because I would have had Batman Returns above the '89 Batman. But it's not just my list; it's our list. That's the whole point of it. So yeah, that's
I think I may have done a good enough job to convince you that '89 Batman is better than Returns, or at least put the notion in your mind that maybe you want to watch them back to back and see what you think. Because I think Batman Returns.
That's what you believe.
Sorry.
I was just saying, you've convinced me that you believe it's better than Returns.
I believe it is, yes. I think Batman, Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton, does so much, and Batman Returns is carried along a long way by that. It's like Batman '89 puts Batman Returns on its back, but it's also that they were able to therefore put in more characters. They were able to put in Catwoman and the Penguin, who is
Walker?
Yeah, but what's his character? Because he is a
Max Schreck.
Thank you, Max Schreck. Sorry, he's in a building with Shrek on the side.
I like the way Stab says, "Is Batman Mask of the Phantasm coming up?" Earlier, you asked if there was any animated Batman films on this list.
Yeah, there's no animated Batman films. So Panda, I've put that. I'd like to condense I just want to put across to the audience how strong the power of the Batman movies are in my life and in my mind. You don't have a bad Batman movie apart from the ones that we just don't talk about.
Yeah, if you forget, you know what? I don't like it. I don't like it.
Ironically, you have to forget about the one that's called Forever.
Yeah. So you're basically saying, well, if you don't include all the ones that are bad, there are no bad ones. Which is the same thinking of, well, if you don't include all the times Batman uses guns and kills people, he doesn't use guns or kill people. It's like, okay. Yeah, Batman doesn't have any superpowers. He's just unbeatable if you give him enough time. Like, okay.
yeah, like Panda says, like, I would watch for entertainment Batman Forever. I would watch that for entertainment. I would
rather watch something good.
I would also watch parts of Batman and Robin. and those parts would exclusively have Arnie and Jim Carrey in it. I think Uma Thurman was underwritten. She is overly qualified for the role they gave her by some margin.
The weird thing, like, when did those? I was still a kid when those came out, and after seeing Batman '89 and Batman Returns, I then watched those, and I went, "These are so dumb. I have to just stop watching Batman films. They've burned me twice now." And I think they.
Did you look like Matt Shrek after being kissed with a taser?
No, I looked like that guy that looked down at his belt and saw Batman and put a bomb on his belt.
You clown.
And I looked up and Warner Brothers just smiled and walked away with my money. I was like, damn it. To be fair, I think everyone took a break from Batman films after that, because they didn't make any after that until...
There was a long old while. Yeah, Val Kilmer and George killed the franchise for a long time.
That credit card. Don't leave home without it.
Stav is here again. They're all good films, correct, and some films you can show to kids, and others more adult films.
I can't believe we have people here saying that Batman and Robin is a good film. Some people need perspective. Some people need perspective. It's like when people say Mortal Kombat 11 is a bad game.
Okay, I would, out of principle, I would refuse to show, and I don't have a copy of Batman Forever or Batman Robin in my DVD cabinet, my Blu-ray cabinet.
Why.
Out of principle, I don't have them, but I do have. Wait, hang on a minute, because I may have the entire collection. Damn it! I've got the
Panda said.
Yeah, because I may have bought, like, from HMV. I may have just bought a box that's got all of them in it.
Oh no!
Because I wanted the first two. Damn it. Anyway,
I just need to address what Panda said, because I.
Oh, so go ahead.
Said, I can't believe people saying that Batman and Robin is good, and Panda goes, it is. I did tell you I like rubbish films sometimes. You liking a rubbish film doesn't mean it's a good film, Panda.
Out of principle, I will not show the Schumacher Batman to Junior and Junior. But when they are
important history, Bob.
But when they are of an age that they can, because there's I don't think there's much swearing going on. It's the sweary stuff that I try to shield the kids from. Although, if I'm honest, the kids in their school are effing and blinding like they are, troopers. So, and the parents are worse. The parents at the school gate, my effing god, do they swear in front of all the children like it's completely normal.
Yeah, I try not to swear in front of kids.
I try not to. It depends on how hard they kick me in the shins.
The concept of swear words is so weird to me, because I obviously don't have an issue with them. My mum does not like swearing. She's like, there's no need for that language. And I'm like, there's no need for not that language, though. They're just words that society has deemed, you can't say that. It's like, it's a word, though, you know? So
this is true. This is true. I don't think there is anything really, like, I don't think genuinely that there's anything super bad. The only problem that I think that I want to, I want to show them Batman and Batman Returns, but just not quite yet. Even because it's because there's more sexual content in those. But I think that's a me problem. I think we've got to get over protecting youngsters from sexualization, but we're completely fine with them being violent.
I mean, that's
a movie problem in general, isn't it? Yeah, that's a Hollywood problem.
Blood and gore and everything's fine, but boobies, oh no, we can't possibly have that. And it's like,
yeah, no, I think that's why we were cool with we've been cool with a lot of movies recently, but being cool with a lot of movies recently, you realise how much all of them are just they substitute any kind of romance or sexuality for, and sexuality being normal. The fact is that you're more likely in your lifetime to be sexual than you are to be horrendously violent. And this is what we're getting populations to, like, especially Western well, I say Western, it's really America, and by virtue of that, the movies that we consume, I think it's mainly America, and it's really, really blatant in America, where violence is just normal, but anything sexy is taboo. And I don't want taboo.
Oh no, you can't show.
Yeah, I don't want taboo.
You can't show the human body.
I want taboob.
Yeah, it's weird how violence is okay, but it's just.
We need to. We're happy with the list. We're going to head on back over to here. There we go.
Yes.
Now you can see sexual beard above me in all its glory. You'll notice no violence is happening between our two plucky protagonists tonight, yet,
Or sex.
or even said or implied. But above me is just a perfect, how would I say this, 4x3 square of sexuality. Yes.
If you say so.
And I'd be happy for the kids to watch this.
Can't be that sexual.
No, I think the problem I have with the sexualization in Batman and Batman Returns is there's some of it that's a bit rapey. You've got like Jerry Hall, like the gangster's mole gets acid thrown in her face for being unfaithful. You get it's things like that. I don't think that's the sort of thing I want to try and normalise.
Villain doing villainy things.
Exactly. I'd like to normalise, I don't know, two people kissing. That's normal. That's fine. But I don't necessarily want the darker side to come out. They can get that when they can learn about that when they're like 10. The right age.
Indeed. I know we've just left Batman, but at the risk of dwelling more on Batman, I have to point out that Heracles.
What did he say? What did he say?
He's risking a ban, mate.
What did he say?
He says Batman Returns the worst.
Dark Knight Batman Returns the worst. Dark Knight the best.
Yeah. It's at times like these that you realise opinions can be objectively wrong.
Batman Returns the what? Heracles?
It's broken bulk.
Just hold up a goddamn minute right now.
You've crossed the line, Heracles.
Heracles, sweet. Catwoman had 7 lives, for God's sake.
She was just resilient. Come on.
Toughness 10. What she...
Right, okay, I just want to point out that Heracles has a complaint about Batman Returns, saying that Catwoman has 7 lives.
Yeah, she's living on her last life at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
She's on her last life. She used up 8 in the movie.
Mm-hmm. But the film is better than Batman and Robin, he says. The film is better than Batman Forever, he says. Really? Sorry, it's worse than those two films?
Yeah, it's what he's saying. It's what he's saying. He's saying that's the worst. How could it be I mean, Danny DeVito on his own. Danny DeVito on his own. If you took out Michelle Pfeiffer and Christopher Walken, let's not forget how just god tier both of those are in that movie. You just have if you just have Michael Keaton versus Danny DeVito, if you just have Batman versus the Penguin and the little penguins, they're so cute with their rockets and all that. If you just had that, it's an Oscar-winning movie. You would Danny DeVito would get up on stage and he'd fail miserably to try and reach the jawline of the taller comedian that was making fun of him with his swing, then get immediately banned for a decade from the awards.
Staff says, I have no worst Batman film. I guess he meant worst Batman film. Just find Ben Affleck.
Strange
looking Batman. He can be at times. I thought he looked awesome in Batman vs Superman. I did not. I'll tell you what I did not like in the original version of Justice League when they gave him those stupid goggles because he looked like Night Owl from The Watchmen, and Night Owl and The Watchmen just looked like a terrible Batman. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And then in Zack Snyder's one, he didn't give him the goggles, and I was like, infinitely better.
But I'll tell you what though, Watchmen, great movie. Those penguins are in MK11, says Panda, so you know they're good. Exactly. Yeah, I do like Ben Affleck as Batman, I think he kind of gets it. He kind of gets the Batman at the end of his career sort of feeling, or like Batman feels he's at the end of his career, his time is passing sort of feeling. I think Jeremy Irons as Alfred. You really like him, yeah. The least successful part of apart from the wooden performances, I mean, like, I don't like Maui. Jason Momoa. I don't like him. He's pretty wooden.
It's dude, bro.
Yeah, he's pretty wooden. It's good that he's wooden because at least he floats.
And Ezra Miller is a
cyborg.
He's Flash.
Oh, sorry, Flash. The Flash. Yeah.
Yeah. Who incidentally was also in that Dumbledore film I saw earlier. He was. It's like they said, all right, this guy's going to be the funny one. It's like, we don't need a funny one. And I wouldn't mind so much if he was funny, but it's just, he's a walking cringe factory in that film. It's ridiculous.
To be fair, in the Snyder Cut, they take a lot of that out. They take out the cringe factor from the Flash, and he's kind of a bit more of a complex character. Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah.
And it says, I don't like Ezra Miller's Flash. Isn't he getting recast? Bro, they're all getting recast. I don't think they're going to continue the Snyderverse.
He got arrested? Oh dear. He couldn't run from that one then. Yeah.
Batman's been recast. Superman's going to be recast.
Right.
So probably won't because she crushes Wonder Woman.
I think I actually really like Ben Affleck's Batman. I think the least successful character apart from Maui is Alfred, Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons, incredibly accomplished actor. I don't think they gave him a good role as Alfred. He takes Alfred in a different direction that I wasn't expecting. I'm not used to Alfred being a current SAS service personnel.
and the guy working all the gadgets behind the scenes. You're the guy that carries a silver dish. Come on.
It's just uncomfortable because you can tell they need to try and get across to presumably a new audience for some reason, but they're trying to get across that the Alfred Pennyworth is really handy. Ex-Special Forces, also happens to now be a butler. But they don't.
That's what he's always been.
Yeah, no, but they try. I think they go about it in too ham-fisted a way, where you feel like Jeremy Irons just wants to take his. You just feel like at every scene Jeremy Irons is on camera, you feel like he wants to rip his pinafore off and jump in there, guns blazing, and wreck some stuff, bust some skulls.
Yeah. He did kind of feel like he wishes he was the one out on the field.
Stav. He played Alfred as a dad ops unit.
Nice. I mean, Andy, look, Stav and Bulk haven't seen the Batman, but Andy Serkis is a pretty good Alfred. I have to say.
Andy Serkis is Alfred?
You better believe Andy Serkis.
Andy
is Alfred.
Serkis. Okay. I would like to see Andy Serkis as Alfred. Yes.
What? Please watch the Batman. It was so good.
I mean, that the idea of that sounds precious to me.
Yeah. It is good. It's Andy Serkis is good. I'm not going to go into any spoilers or anything like that. He seems much more than the Jeremy Irons Alfred. He seems like a father figure to Bruce, because Alfred just seems like a war buddy, in the Batfleck universe.
Yeah. He's like he's like Batman's fixer.
Exactly. Yeah. But in the Batman, he's in charge of keeping Bruce safe, taking care of him, almost being a father figure.
Like Padda said, would you say he does that as well as Michael Caine?
See, the problem with Michael Caine is that I can't take him seriously when he acts.
Because he's always Michael Caine.
My name is Michael Caine, and this is a pair of binoculars. I don't know. I've never watched anything Michael. Oh, no, that's not true, because the few times I did see him as Alfred, I was like, I buy you as Alfred. You're old. You're clearly not a soldier, and you care about Bruce. So he was good. And there's that scene where he cries or whatever. He's like, and I failed.
Yes.
I'm Michael Caine. You know, I don't know. He's like...
I liked Michael Caine's Alfred.
He needs to show his math.
Yeah, but I think the only thing that detracts from Michael Caine's Alfred is that Michael Caine can only ever be Michael Caine under different names.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like,
so
I don't go...
He's like Sean Connery.
It's like, this isn't some new character. It's Sean Connery. You know?
Would you like to meet our new Russian submarine commander? Why, hello there. You know, it's
yeah, exactly.
What about a Spanish immortal? My name's Ramirez.
He didn't even try. But man, everyone.
Have you been keeping up with the chat? You've been keeping up with the chat.
I've been looking at a little bit of it. Heracles says bulk for Alfred. Panda says that's actually quite an interesting casting choice regarding the.
Yeah. But then Panda says Bulk's too old to play Alfred.
How rude! Just because it's true doesn't mean it's nice to say.
Exactly.
Panda.
Just because that something is true doesn't mean you have to always mention it at every turn.
Right. So you didn't know who played Alfred, and you didn't know who played Catwoman. Do you know who plays the Penguin in the Batman?
The Penguin's in the Batman?
Right. Okay.
I know nothing about this movie apart from I saw a glimpse of the Batmobile. I thought that looked pretty hot. And I know that Robert Pattinson is in it.
Alright, bring up your Google.
The Riddler is in it too? Right, just tell me who plays the Riddler, who plays the Penguin. Because I don't want to... Because now I'm getting really invested in wanting to watch it, so now I don't want to spoil it.
The point is... If I tell you who plays the Penguin, that's not the impressive part. The impressive part is when you see the Penguin, you won't believe it's who it is. Because they disappear into the makeup. I couldn't believe
it Idris Elba?
Who it was. No. Paul Dano plays the Riddler. Never heard of him until this film.
Okay.
But if you just Google... Because you've got to see the Penguin and then try and guess who it is. Because I know you're... Right, well, I'll tell you. It's Colin Farrell. But you would never know it's... Colin Farrell. Yeah.
Colin Farrell does also change his body and stuff. Colin Farrell's a better actor than people make out.
Colin Farrell's
he just gets given lots of action or steamy roles, but he's actually really versatile. He's really well-rounded.
He's really good.
Have you seen him in Bruges?
Yes, he's really good at that.
He's brilliant in Bruges. That's a really good movie. And then he's also in Miami Vice, which is one of my low-key guilty pleasure movies. I
didn't watch it.
He plays Crockett in Miami Vice. He plays the main central character in Miami Vice.
Yeah, I know he's in it. Yeah,
and he's brilliant. I mean, that's a great movie. I think it's a great movie.
Google
him in the
Batman. Right, but seriously, you have to Google the Penguin from the Batman because it's ruined now because now you know who plays him. I wanted you to see him, and then when I told you who played him, your mind would have been actually blown.
Well, I would have seen the credits, so I would have found out who played him.
And then your mind would have been blown.
Yeah, then my mind would have blown. And then you would have said, hey, do you know who played him? And I said, yeah, I had no idea. It blew my mind that Colin Farrell is the Penguin. He disappears completely into the makeup.
You are the only person I know who is aware that the Batman exists and who didn't know the Penguin was in it. Because you went, Robert Pattinson's in it. That's all I need to know. And I'm like,
literally, they you know how
such a mistake.
I feel like we started like we're wrapping up this podcast where we started the start at the top of the show with they should have led with turtles. The problem with the Batman marketing is they led with flipping Pattinson when they should have led with the Penguin, the Riddler, Catwoman. They should have led with that. If they said Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, I would have been like, where do I sign? Why am I even sitting here?
I think they appealed to the masses, because if they'd said Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, I would have gone, who the hell is Zoe Kravitz? But they went Robert Pattinson as Batman, and I was like, okay, I've never seen Robert Pattinson in anything. He's the vampire guy, you know.
It's because Mrs. Bulk... Okay, what it is, Mrs. Bulk forced me to watch Twilight. Twilight 2 was coming out in the cinema.
Oh dear.
And I obviously didn't go. I didn't crawl over broken glass to go and watch Twilight 1. I had no backstory. I did not know the lore. I'm not an emotional teenage girl in the mid-90s, so I didn't read a lot of Anne Rice and all of that. I did actually. I had a girlfriend that was into it, so I had to kind of read some of that stuff. And they're not bad, but it's not my cup of tea. And anyway, so we end up watching Twilight. And I did not want to go and see Twilight 2 after that. I ended up having to go and see Twilight 2 afterwards. And I hated that even more.
I saw the first 10 minutes of Twilight, or like the first 20 minutes, and I was like, no. And then never saw any more.
I'll tell you, okay, Panda there, Twilight is better than it gets credit for because it's a chicky flick vampire film. Okay, but I've grown up with the notion...
Okay.
I've grown up with the notion that vampires are edgy, super cool, super sexy, super smooth. This one drives a flippin' Volvo to school. That is not sexy. It is not smooth. It is not any of those things.
You tell the main character in that film that Edwin Pattinson is not sexy.
Oh, jeez. He drives a Volvo, and a three-door hatchback at that. Probably a diesel. I'm pretty sure they gave him a diesel for the movie.
For the weirdest reasons. I can't get into this because he's driving a Volvo.
Evil doesn't drive a Volvo in the same way as evil doesn't wear a bonnet. Shout out to Cats and Dogs. There we go, Cats and Dogs. Do you not see Cats and Dogs, have you?
Oh, is that the... if that's what I think about, it's a terrible film, but Panda probably loves it because he likes
it's a terrible family. It's a family movie, though. It's a terrible movie. It's a fun family movie, but the cats versus the dogs is just brilliant. You've got ninja cats. You have. I have to say this word on stream. I don't want to. You have a Russian spy cat, the Siberian, that has loads of spy gear on him and things like that. You also have the ninjas as well.
I was curious as to what word you were going to say then. I was like, oh, is he going to say like a slur or something? But no, it's just a nationality.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you know, it's at odds with my background. Or my outfit. That one line
where the main cat was like, he said something is key to my ingenious scheme, and me and my mates just kept saying that. Like, whenever something was important, we'd be like, that's key to my ingenious scheme.
Yes. Jeff Goldblum is in it. Jeff Goldblum is in it, but he's not the biggest part of it. The biggest part is actually the cat. The cat is amazing. The bad cat.
The white cat.
Yeah, the white Blofeld style cat, who is the bad guy, and ends up with the line, "Evil doesn't wear a bonnet." You know, it's brilliant. And Panda can't stand it. It's in the same way as I don't like watching like films like Spy Kids and things like that, but they have entertaining bits in it. And the fact that cats versus dogs, come on, with ninja stars and grenades and, you know, it's funny. If, you know. Okay, alright, it's terrible.
Well, off to bed.
There's a cat with a bonnet in it, alright? There's a cat with a bonnet.
Look, to be fair, you're saying it's bad. You're not trying to argue that it's good.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's good in any way whatsoever.
Factor. There's plenty of films that are bad with entertainment factor. Although you did say the words "it's brilliant," that kind of throws it off a little bit.
The brilliance of the premise, I feel. Brilliance of the premise is what I want to try and put across there. I feel like this is my Tinder review. It's it on all levels it's bad, but it could be entertaining.
It's fractally bad. You heard the term fractal wrongness.
Bring on super pets. Okay, right, so anyway, as we said, we should have led with Turtles. I feel that's a decent segue to wrapping things up here. My time is all up. Have a good night. Joe Thibodeau, thank you so much for hanging about. What are plans for the rest of... do we... no, we don't. It's 3 hours in. I don't think we've got time for another one.
No,
unless that's a tier list of one thing.
What we can do a lightning round where we spend no longer than 10 seconds on each thing.
On the entire thing. Yeah, no, I think it's midnight.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. We've covered a lot of ground, and we can save it for next time. You see, you've always got to give the audience wanting more. Always got to give them wanting more. Now, what have we learned tonight? We've learned that Heracles needs to go and watch the Michael Keaton Batman movies again. Facts. I think we may have lit a little bit of a fire under Harps's bushel, which is sitting on top of his beard or wherever it may be. We've given him a bit of a rectal rocket of desire to try and to go out and see why Batman 89 is better than Batman Returns. If you watch them back to back, I guarantee you'd flip. You would flip faster than something I probably don't want to say right now.
That's a big statement because I have this. I have the nostalgia for Batman Returns. I have none of that for Batman 89. So that's the problem. That's the hurdle you've got to get over.
I'm just looking at the spurious tier list notions in the chat. I'm thinking like best Nintendo character Kazuya from Smash. You know? Best Tekken character Akuma.
Best fighting game Gran Turismo 3.
I was teaching an Easter program for kids, and one of my assistants is a student of mine, and he's actually a professional artist. He's really, really good at what he does. But he came in with an Akuma t-shirt, specifically Akuma from Street Fighter 5. He had the big hair, really big hair.
Oh, the wrong Akuma. Okay.
Yeah, but it was specifically that. It was doing the pose, and it was all dark and all that. And I said, we were doing name introductions at the beginning, and I said, bonus points to anyone who knows what that character is. And then it almost stopped me in my tracks. It nearly made me skip a few beats and probably stop entirely. Bulk Jr. Junius, when we realised, when I said he's known as Goki, but over here we know him as Akuma, Bulk Jr., my youngest, said, Akuma from Tekken!
Well, these youngins today. I mean, if you play a lot of Tekken and not much Street Fighter, so I can't really blame him.
Yeah, just right up there with Terry and Kazuya from Smash, and Ryu from Fortnite.
Solid Snake from Smash.
Yes, Solid Snake is in Smash. Solid Snake from Smash as well. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
Put some respect on that platform. Right, Harps, you're streaming again this week. Your work pattern coincides with streaming this coming week.
I'm on earlies again. I was thinking I was going to be on lates, but I'm on earlies again. But I will stream. But it'll be
an earlier evening stream.
It'll be like 8 until about 10:30, I should think. I want to do. Well, I don't really want to do a Mortal Kombat stream, but Panda wants to see it, so guess I could dust off Mortal Kombat and play that.
To be fair, Panda just wants to see you suffer.
He wants to stream snipe me, and then destroy me because he's been practicing. I mean, I'll stream it because I said I would, and then I also, I've got to get that Batman. Look at that Batman. Panda says, I'll just snipe you, stream Tekken. Nah, I don't want to play Mortal Kombat or Tekken these days. I want to stream Batman, obviously.
I saw your animation with the bats and all that. It looks really sick. You might want to use that for a stream. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking about maybe throwing it in front of a Mortal Kombat stream, perhaps. Heracles says, play Virtua Fighter 5. I don't play games I haven't installed.
Soul Calibur. Did you hear what Bulk Jr. called Soul Calibur 6?
What?
We were introducing the games on Considerable Combat. I said we're going to be playing Soul Calibur 6, and then Bulk Jr. said, or as we call it, Soul Calibur VI.
So you've raised him right.
You see, I've done a decent. I feel like I've done a right job. I feel like I've done a right.
Soul Calibur 6.
Yes, he could actually speak in Italian. I, IV.
And this says stream GT7 again so Bob can shame your driving lines again. No, I won't stream GT7 again.
We're going to be shaming his...
Soul Calibur.
Panda and I are going to be shaming your lines harder than a Tory MP. Yeah.
You would if I was going to stream Gran Turismo 7 again, which I won't. The same reason I won't stream Soul Calibur 6 again, because I'd like more than one person watching my stream. So, yeah.
Why Soul Edge or Soul Blade is not acknowledged? Well, we haven't got round to that, because we have yet
because
to
we're
do...
talking about Soul Calibur 6.
Yeah, we have yet to do a tier list stream of fighting games of all time.
That's going to take 17 hours.
It would be one stream. All fighting games. I'm up for the challenge. I am so up for the challenge of doing a tier list of every single fighting game since 1991.
Yeah. Assuming that the person who made that list included them all. I bet there's a whole bunch they didn't include, like some really
but it will omit things like Yi Are Kung Fu on the Spectrum 48K, which was my introduction to fighting games. It will
probably
omit.
Won't have not Fist of the North Star. Way of the Exploding Fist. It probably won't have that. And the Acorn Electron.
Yeah, exactly. It just won't have them. Yeah. It will probably have like Karate Champ, but it won't have. It won't have Yi Are Kung Fu, which is out at the same time.
Well, excuse me.
You hang in there. You hang in there, young Reverend Harps.
I'm not even tired. I do that a lot. I yawn and I'm not even tired.
I'm sorry.
It's taken us
Don't say this. Don't say this on dates, okay? Whatever you do, Harps. When you're there with the other person and you start yawning and say, I'm not even tired. I just yawn when I'm in front of people like you. Mate,
that's not what I said.
Yeah.
Instead, I just yawn a lot. Specifically keeping it general. Anyway, forgot what I was going to say. Oh no, that was it. Yeah. So and by this, it took us about an hour and 20-ish to do those small tier lists, because those were small tier lists. They only had like 6 items in them each.
I reckon we can run through it faster, because there'll be a lot of ones we can just say, yeah, that's rubbish. You know.
Yeah, we can just speed through it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward. I do think we should do a Spider-Man one, as Hunter said. A Spider-Man tier list could be good.
We've done Batman, so we may as well do a much lesser hero.
I'd say he's at least on par.
I'm going to get flamed so hard.
Look, Lightwing Dragon's in the chat.
Lightwing Dragon, there's a man who knows his onions, let me tell you. That man knows his stuff, and he does a lot of. I've popped in on a lot of his streams, and there's like he goes literally from give me any game beginning with A.
Ace Combat.
He'll go from Ace Combat to Zelda. He just does he literally does everything. And I've watched him play Zelda, and I've watched him play like some random RPGs on a Sega Dreamcast, you know, and things like that. It's just really random stuff.
So he plays games, is what you're saying?
He plays games. He streams them. Decent personality. Nice dude. Nice fella.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. Where was that? Yeah, Ericles says MK characters tier list or second characters tier list, etc. Maybe. I don't want to do a character tier list for a fighting game, because people are going to look at it and think that I'm basing.
You base it on a game. Yeah, you have to base it on a game. It's a bit tricky. Plus, there's 89 characters in Tekken.
Yeah, they'll probably assume. To be fair, though, most of the characters in Tekken you can just go rubbish. Because if I was going to do a tier list for characters, I would do a tier list based on how much I care about those characters. But
like
anyone
a
coming in
coolness
would
factor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So in Tekken, Kazuya would win. And but
you mean
anyone
be better
coming
than
in
Brian?
Would be like,
Be better than Brian and Bruce?
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, but people coming into the stream might assume that we're doing a tier list based on how viable we think characters are, because that's what people
it's true.
do. So
it's true fact.
I wouldn't want to do a character tier list for a fighting game.
Yeah, then you get some old head like come in and go, no, you don't remember Tekken 4 Jin? That's got nothing to do with it. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that point.
Don't you remember how broken this move was?
Yeah, don't you remember? Yeah.
If only there was a way we could let them know that it's like that. But
it's a tough one, because the whole list would be completely for nothing, because Kazuya would be at the top, and you would put in big brackets, because did you not see the opening scene of the Tekken movie, where he opens the movie with the Williams sisters in his bedroom? From that, and then, you know, Kazuya was already cool, and then became even cooler.
It's weird though, because if he slept with both of them, right? Both of those women who are sisters were involved in the same sex act. So how is that not incestuous? It's weird sleeping with siblings. It's weird.
They just took it in turns.
I mean, that makes it less incestuous.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's like a one in, one out system. Like, get your ticket. You know, when you're in the old style supermarket with the butchers, like the delicatessen counter, you have to take a ticket, sort of thing. I'm sure that's how they did it. It was all very structured and ordered. The relationship between Anna and Nina is incredible, though. I completely didn't realise that every time Nina gets frozen, Anna goes and gets herself deliberately cryogenically frozen, so that she can maintain her physique for when Nina gets thawed. Anna can come out and be thawed, so she can go and attack Nina again with the same vigour.
Because Anna is a psychopath. She has something seriously wrong with her.
We've all dated worse.
Nina. How many times has Nina been frozen then? Because I thought it was only once.
It was twice, I think. I think it's been twice. Twice. I mean, Steve's all grown up now. I mean, it's been. So I don't know. And also, characters don't get older.
There's only been one time skip though, and that was Tekken 2 and 3. Everything after that was just like, okay, 5 is a couple of years after 4. In fact, no, 5 was right after 4, and then 6 was a little bit further. 7 was a little bit further. I don't. Anyway, whatever. It's not important.
Yeah, I mean, trying to figure out the story of Tekken from the little endings they give you at the end of arcade mode. No. Yeah, you need a proper lore cop. You need a proper lay cop.
Yeah, you need to play a game.
I went there. Sorry.
Story, like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, okay. I'll give it that. MK's lore kicks Tekken right into touch, right in the feels. And the Tekken 7 endings are probably the worst Tekken endings I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and that's not a very high standard. It's not very high standard.
I mean, I liked them more before they tried to go funny, because a lot of the comedy in those endings is just like pure, undiluted cringe in tablet form that you swallow. Some of them are okay, but like, you know, you're watching the Paul and Law one where they're like, it's this weird like paper cutout animation, and they're going on a like journey around the world, and that ending's like 5 minutes long. It just wouldn't end, and it's.
Yeah, some of them are good and then some of them are bad, and I think they lost their way of trying to do storytelling essentially after probably 3 or 4.
It's like they tried to just make all of the endings. Isn't it super hilarious? And it's like, Panda says the Yoshimitsu Leo ending is hideous. Yeah, it's not great. It's like, it's just, why did they make that? Yoshimitsu's like, he's like, I'll save you, and then he's like, he mounts Leo, and then he's like, wait, you're a boy? And it's like, Leo does have several boyish features. You're surprised to find out that Leo's a boy, or at least
like a penis,
biologically male. Yeah, and then Leo's basically like, oh, I'm being raped. See ya. And it's like, oh, Japan, they keep being silly. Oh, Japan.
Okay, right. Like we said like half an hour ago, thank you so much everybody for tuning in. We could just talk rubbish for forever and ever until the cows literally come home to the south field of the Harp House estate. Now next week Harp's going to be streaming. I know Panda is looking forward to be streaming. Next week I'm going to be working for 5 hours. So
he's having a hard week.
It's a really heavy workload next week, but next week I'm working for 5 hours on 3 days. I'm very much looking forward to doing some streaming next week and getting a few streams knocked out. looking forward to hopefully see if we can't do another collab like this. Maybe if my good friend is amiable to acquiesce to my request. But I know Panda's streaming. TC Pow has started streaming, and who else? And I think Danny said he wanted. No, Danny didn't. He has got his PSN, and of course we know Harps is going to be there. Is anyone else streaming from the team this week? I can't remember. If they are,
I think
that's
Mounty.
it. Mounty.
I think Mounty expressed recently that he wanted to stream again.
Nice.
Or maybe no, I might be think. No, I think Caballing told Mounty to stream, and I'm getting it mixed up.
Oh well, everyone listens to Caballing though.
No, that's what it is. Mounty said within the next 2 weeks he'll stream. He promises.
Okay, all right. So it's a really exciting Easter for everybody. Oh, and Gamer K, of course, from Alcatraz. Yes, of course he's going to be streaming. That came up earlier in the stream, Heracles. You weren't here for that, but I'm glad that we're all on the same page.
It all comes back around.
Right. Is there anything, Harplarp, you'd like to say before we disappear?
I guess not.
You crazy kids, take it easy in there. Oh, sorry, go on. You go.
Yeah, thanks everybody for showing up and keeping us sane, and just keep your eyes peeled for more streams from the Team Considerable folks.
Indeed, we're going to come back for another considerable convo. Right, you crazy kids, take it easy there. If the bed falls through, we'll see you in the spring. Look after each other, love all around. Take all the necessary precautions at the maskers hugging parties. Even though Boris says COVID is over, we'd like to see you at the next one. We're going to leave you now with the best thanks for watching screen you're going to see on this channel, because it's the only one I have, and I'm not going to change it. I can barely keep up with just having someone in on a call.
I think it's done well.
Yeah. GG's everybody, and thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been a slog, but it's been worthwhile, and I've really loved it. It's been so much fun. Thank you everybody in the chat and Harps above me. For having Harps on top of me has been the most fun I've had all day. GG's everybody, and ciao for now.
I do like sharing this. No, I got nothing.
Got nothing. I forgot to show everyone the beer that I drank today. It's from a special brewery.
Drank a beer?
Hold on.
Oh, the stream's just it's like the Batman. Just when you thought it was over, it's still going.
I completely forgot. The beer is from a special brewery called Can you read that? I'll switch to main bulk cam. I'll switch to main bulk cam.
Bob was like, it's called Buckcombe, I'm gonna buy it.
It's
Like, that's how marketing works.
It's Buckcombe. Yes, everybody loves Buckcombe. Beautiful. It was good beer. Right, GG's everybody, and ciao for now.